So right now, you're being aggressive, right? So you're violating my Third Amendment right because I'm quartering with an enemy combatant.
It is what it is. We're all sick from disinformation. We all live for twisted sensations. Kids are safe, but too well behaved to feel. Never heal with the fakes. Go make something real. If what you've always believed in was not considered treason, business will be booming, writing news with no meaning. Take it or leave it, the way you see it is the end result. Angels and demons.
What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing good. So during this broadcast, if you guys happen to hear a bunch of honking noise that you probably hear right now, it's because I'm like right down the street from the Capitol, and there is a victory/protest, and people are like driving down the streets honking with their Trump flags and their Biden flags, and people are saying "fuck Trump," Biden won, blah 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 blah. So you might hear some of that stuff in the background, and there's probably going to be some random music too, because people are kind of randomly pumping music. I really think that the song of the day is going to be that "Fuck Donald Trump." I've heard that I don't know how many times already today, so something tells me that got downloaded a lot. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, cool, right on. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Some people are backstage. I'm going to go ahead and let them on one at a time, kind of give them a grand introduction. We'll start here with CFW. What's up? How are you? Can you hear me, CFW?
Hey.
There you are. Okay, cool.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Oh,
Not much is up. Not much here, anyways.
We're gonna do kind of an audit to audit with her.
Can you hear me?
So yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
You can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes. You can't hear me apparently.
You can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, we're gonna do an audit. We're gonna do an audit to audit thing with her. But first, I'm gonna start introducing other people. But all right, so we're gonna start with that. Next, we have Hey Lavender.
Hey, how is
you?
everybody?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, it's another day.
It is. All right. So, all right. Next, we have Taco.
Hello.
Taco.
Doing good?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Kenny?
I'm not so bad. Not so bad. Woke up to a bunch of cars going down the place, like honking, and I was like, "What the fuck is this air horn outside?" I wake up and I look outside. I'm like, "Oh." Then I looked online, turned on the computer, and like, "Oh, they not spine is winner." Okay, I get it now.
I'm ready for all types of critiques today.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun day, right?
Yep. I also have some critique of Lavender's work too. So
do you?
I'm ready.
I actually have a good idea for a show later on. Instead of you showing me videos to react to, how about I go on your channel and show you some stuff to react to?
That's
interesting.
Fine.
I think that would be fun.
Me or Taco? Huh?
Taco. Because he does
okay.
all the crazy videos, so I want to show him some crazy shit.
Yes.
I am toning it down slightly.
Oh, it won't be too bad, trust me.
No more Japanese spanking videos.
Okay. Josiah, what's up?
Not much, Kenny. Just been watching the drama unfold all day on the news. I love it. This is the first election that the journalists called the presidency. It wasn't put out by.
Well, it's very interesting. Glenn, what's up, Glenn? Right.
How you doing, Keeney?
Not bad. How are you, sir?
Hello, Glenn.
Hello.
Hey, Glenn.
How everybody doing?
Doing
good.
all right.
How are you?
I'm doing good, enjoying the beautiful day.
Good.
It is a beautiful day out.
It is. It really is. It's gorgeous today. All right,
It's
so let's do the next.
overcast and raining here.
And last but definitely not least, Gary. What's up, Gary?
Hi, Kenny.
Hello, Gary.
Gary.
Hello, Gary.
Hello, Glenn. Jessa. Taco. CFW. And hello, well.
Hi.
What's up, Joe Cool?
Joe Cool.
Joe, is
Joe?
Hello, Joe
his
Cool.
voice is still bad.
My voice is
Hi,
bad.
Sancho. I see Sancho in the chat.
Oh man,
Sancho.
yes, Sancho's in the chat.
I just wanted to come here and drink the
Hey, Sancho.
Tears
Hey,
for
Joe.
Republicans. Is this the right place to drink Republicans? I'm ready.
You must have been out like shouting all night or something.
I
Huh?
was
Were you
yelling
yelling at
at
people?
cops. Yeah.
Yelling at
I
them?
can't. Fuck, I can't talk. I'm going to get y'all shit
No.
from the chat.
Hey, 700 Club.
His voice is all messed up, Sancho. And no, we didn't get no rain, unfortunately. Yeah, we haven't had rain. I don't know when we're gonna get rain. Who the fuck knows?
What happened to
All right, guys.
my...
So he had his voice is all messed up, so he went back down to the chat. All right, so today we're gonna take a. Can someone turn down the TV they got in the background, please? Turn it off.
I can turn on a TV.
No, turn it off. We're turning some in the background. All right, so we're gonna be taking a look. We're gonna be taking a look at videos from Carolina Fort Worth. We're gonna give them a critique. So if you're willing to do that, you're more than welcome to stay
I
up.
don't know which one it is. No.
Well, we haven't picked yet.
Yes,
We don't know yet.
I hope it's not one of my bad ones. We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I'm just
I
gonna
don't know
randomly
either.
pick them.
What, I get to pick?
No.
You can pick one, and then we'll pick one. You can pick one, and then we'll pick one. One of your choice, and then we'll do one. All right. So.
Okay. I don't even. Okay. So you want anyone or a cop block?
It doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
No, they're gonna beat me up.
Well, they might. We'll see.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Let's do okay. Let's do a recent one because my recent ones are different than my older ones. So let's do. Let me see if I can remember the name of it. Johnson County. Is there something about Johnson County?
Oh no, let's see. Take a look.
Where'd Glenn go?
Let me look.
Glenn probably went back down to the.
I have a lot of people that like they got a lot of stuff to say to me, so now's their chance.
So we've got Fort Worth, Big Secrets at the Real Fusion
Oh no!
Center.
Why?
Oh no, I'm asking. This is the one you get to pick. You said Jackson County something about? I don't see any Jackson County. Let me see. Denton, Texas, Seattle bus system.
In Johnson County. Let me see if I can see it on here.
Oh, this one right here. True good old boy
Yeah, let me look and
mentality.
see. Let me get out here. Johnson County. That's a new.
This one?
Yes, that one.
No, you don't.
Let's do that one.
No,
Because
you
that
don't.
one's really shows a lot about Texas
are you?
and what we're suffering from down here. Yes, and all the trouble that we're having. We're having a lot of trouble here with prison reform and prisons in general. That's the only reason why I'm kind of glad Biden won, but I don't think they're going to do anything anytime soon.
Okay.
But this is the kind of stuff we have to deal with in Texas. So this is a good one. Kind of show.
All right, so here we guys go. Get ready. Well, did someone drop down? Yeah.
I love squirrels, by the way.
All right, guys, let's go.
Who are you?
I cannot give you that out without.
That's a lie.
Give open records. I'm not going to give you anything.
You're supposed to give it to me verbally. You're not supposed to make me jump through hoops to get it. So you need to chew your pod.
We've got, how many names do I need to remember? Oh, can't remember any. How many names do I need to remember?
I like squirrels.
Oh, can't remember any. Oh, can't remember any.
Why is she promoting her own channel? We're critiquing it, Adam. We're not promoting it.
This lady I'm talking to, she was here since August 19th. We're going to go in and we're going to get the jail roster for that day. And we're going to see what her charge was on paper. Because they can't just, if she's not on the jail roster, there's some shenanigans going on here. We're going to be calling the Texas Rangers. Because
I met the lady outside. She
wasn't even arraigned. Never arraigned. How can you be sitting in a jail like this and never be arraigned? Makes no sense. Is that where you go in at?
So she never got arraigned. I'm in her outside jail. She never went before the
So
judge.
what
So
what
I'm
is
gonna go ahead
some
and
what
find
is
out why.
what is the backstory behind what you're gonna go look up right now? Carolina, what's the backstory behind this case you're gonna go find out about?
The backstory is that when I got out of the car, I met this lady who was standing there. She was waiting for a ride. She was a black lady, and she was a black lady, and she'd been in there since for a month. Because I always ask when I get out of the car, "Hey, did you just get out? How was it?" See what they say. She said that she'd been there for a month and had never got to go before the judge. So when you go to jail, you're supposed to go before the judge, and they tell you your charge, and they tell you, what your bond is, etc. It never happened to her. They just suddenly let her out. So and her paper that she had in her hand was blank. It was a release form, but it was like where you have to fill it out and it tells you where their court date is and blah blah blah. Hers was blank. Hers was completely blank. So I was going to go inside and get the jail roster anyways, but I wanted the jail roster for that day. I wanted to see if she even made it on the roster. That's why rosters are so important, because she told me there was 4 other ladies there that had the same situation where they've never been before the judge. So I've been trying to get the jail roster from them. It's the only one I can't find online. I've looked everywhere for it, and I can't get any answers from these people. I put in a FOIA request asking for a list of ladies who have not been arraigned, and I got a stupid letter back saying, we don't have to arraign everybody. I said, that's not what I asked you. I want a list of everybody who hasn't been arraigned, everybody, So this jail is actually ran by a private company. We outsourced it to these people, and this is what happened when I went in to ask for the jail roster.
All right.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, how are you? Nobody's wearing masks, so I guess we don't have to wear masks. I need to talk to a jailer.
Around like that.
Huh? I said, where's the jailer's at? Oh. How do I get over there? Well, how do I talk to the jailer?
Will get somebody in charge.
Awesome. Oh, so are you guys not part of Johnson County? You're outside source? LaSalle Southwest Corrections. LaSalle Southwest Corrections. So.
Like I say, I'm only rude when they're rude. She was rude.
What's in St. Martin's? I guess I come in here to get it.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, you have to step out.
Why? This is a lobby, right?
No, the lobby's up there.
Oh, this is a lobby area. I need some jail rosters. Can you help me out?
No, you have to step out here. Ma'am,
Well, what's this there little area for?
this is not the lobby.
Oh, okay.
Step out. I do not.
What?
I do not have any lobsters at this time.
Well, that's against the law.
What do you need it for?
I want you to look up on the jail roster for August 19th. The last name is Graham. I want to know what the charges are.
I can let you know he's here. I can let you know.
Okay, could you do that?
Sure.
Great.
What's
The last name is Graham.
Graham?
Mhm.
First name?
Melissa, I think. Melissa.
Melissa?
Mhm. Hey, I have another question. This is not, you guys are outsourced? You guys don't work for the county? You work for this company right here? Okay, so this is a separate county, a separate company. Do you have anybody like a boss out here anywhere? No.
Let me get your information first.
Oh, I don't give my information.
No, I'm saying the information.
Oh, Melissa Graham.
Yeah.
So she wants me to step out in the public lobby. How much do they pay you to do that? Are you a jailer?
No, I know.
Oh, do you are you a nurse?
I don't know.
So they would just set you there and let you take temperatures of people walking in? Really? That's what they do?
Part of my job.
Oh, what's your job title? Temperature taker? No, what is it?
Ma'am, I'm not going to discuss.
Oh, don't make me go and look it up. It's public information. You're gonna make me go look it up?
So this this county, they don't have an inmate locator for the prison. Because I know like most city jails or county jails usually have that where you can look up a prisoner.
Should be in the paper when she
It's
was
online.
arrested.
So I was thinking, I think they should be able to look online. You weren't able to locate this information online, Carolina?
She dropped
She's
out.
not here.
Oh, there she is. All right, Carolina. So you weren't able to get this information online?
No, this is the only jail that I could. Oh, can you hear me? This is the only jail that I could not find it online. Maybe they put it up since I've looked, but like every other county, I mean, Arlington, they have theirs on a TV screen scrolling across in the lobby. Fort Worth, they have theirs online. Everybody has theirs online. I couldn't find theirs. There's Johnson County, Florida, but not Johnson County, Texas, unless they put it up since then in the last week. I haven't checked it for a good week, but yeah, I couldn't find it online at all. All the other counties have them online, so I don't get that. Because that's why it's so important. I called my lawyer and asked him about her being in there without being arraigned. He says that happens all the time, that people get lost in jail sometimes for 2 years because they're not even on the roster either. That's just, how can this happen in this day and age with computers, that you lose somebody in jail?
Do you have proof? Do you have proof of that, Caroline?
Proof of what? That people get lost in jail? Not anybody
in jail for 2 years.
Oh no, I don't have. That's hearsay. My lawyer told me that. I'd like to see some proof of that because that seems a long time for me. But this lady was in there for a month, so I still haven't got the jail rosters from them at all. But I did get that letter saying, "Oh, we don't have to tell you who's arraigned and not arraigned." So I did FOIA requests on it. But I don't. I'm not gonna have to just drive back there. I heard a rumor, or one of my commenters said that this is an outsourced jail, right? And that the people in Johnson County don't like these people really too much. And then I should go talk to the sheriff and find out if they have jail rosters and why they're not printing them, because it's a private company, these people. So I'm going to just have to drive back over there. It's like an hour and a half, but I'm going to do it because it's just not right. And another thing too, this lady that I was talking to, I kept in contact with her. When she went in, she got the virus from them because she takes care of her dad, her elderly father, and she went and got tested before she started taking care of her elderly father. And then when she went home, she had it. She got the virus in jail.
Mm-hmm. Now, the court systems are all messed up because of the COVID. So you think maybe, I don't know, I'm starting to think when you said a month, I was like, well, with COVID going around, people are having issues getting into court, and then they just kind of let her out. I don't know. It could have something to do with COVID, but then again, it could be something. I'm not trying to make excuses for anyone, but I'm just trying to think of different reasons why what happened.
Some reasons, exactly. Not excuse, but reasons, yeah. Because that just really irritated me that she told me there were 4 more in there that were in her same situation. That was kind of scary to me. So these are not Texas people. These are like an outside source, like I said. So is it just their company's not running right, or what's going on with this? If they're shady or if they're just like incompetent, we need to get rid of them. The management team, that management, Johnson, whoever they are.
Find out what's going on here.
Okay.
So,
are you supposed to have your badge covered up? Huh?
But I was surprised my lawyer told me it was common not to be arraigned.
I'm wanting to know what the charges are.
No, I understand that, but.
And I really need a jail roster for today, but.
Okay, are you finished?
Wanting to know what the charges are.
She went to go.
And I really need a jail roster for today, but.
What did you say, Carolina?
I said she was really rude when she walked out, but it skipped.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's skipping. That's why I'm doing those booths. But she was actually getting the information for me. She was just sitting there, so she was getting the information for me. I was going to see if she was on their jail roster.
GRH.
I spelled Graham wrong because I was nervous.
Okay, now Melissa, how are you spelling Melissa?
MELISSA. She was released today because I needed to know what the charges were.
Okay, we're trying to find a locator in the system. Okay, we just want to make sure.
Okay, I mean, she was just released like 15 minutes ago.
Are you sure it's here? Because
she's standing right out there. She's on the release list.
Oh, does she have paperwork?
In her back pocket.
I still didn't believe that lady out there. I wanted to be sure before I.
Can't you just look at the list of people?
to Carolina?
Have been released.
So if you want the information, I can have if you want that.
No, I don't. I think you can figure that out yourself. Just look at the list and see which one's named Melissa. Then you can figure it out. How many people have you released today?
What can I do for you?
This is my problem, sir. Who are you?
I'm Captain Blankenship.
You're who?
Captain Blankenship.
Hi, Captain Blankenship. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm Carolina. Nice to meet you. I came in and I was looking for all I was looking for
I like
was
his mask.
jail roster for today, and they don't seem to want to give me
I know
one.
it's not covering his face.
Were you
Like a
looking for
booking
somebody
sheet.
Specific?
Not particularly until I stepped out of the car and met somebody sitting outside. Somebody, her name's Melissa Graham, and I want to know what her charges were. She came in on August 18th.
Right.
So she got released. So how's it hard is it for her to figure out, look at the list for the people that got released and just look it up. Tell me what her charges were.
Well, that's not the information we can share with you. We share
No,
with
that's sir. That's public
And
information.
you can look it up on there. There is a site you can go to.
Okay, well, here's my problem. She's not in there.
Okay.
In other words, she sat in here for a whole month without being arraigned.
Do you know her personally?
Yes, now I do. I just met her.
You just met her, but
Mhm.
you know her personally.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just met her actually.
Okay.
I met her in person. So how can someone sit here for a whole month and not be arraigned? And how can there be pregnant people in there that aren't seeing doctors and such, and people that are falling down in buckets with leaks and stuff? That's not right. I mean, half these people in here are here for probation reasons, or
Do
for.
you have someone here that you're. That
No, I was just coming to get the bucket sheet, and I found all the shadiness going on.
Right. Okay.
That's
Well,
kind of
you're
shady.
welcome to stay out here and film and.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to get a jail roster. It's state law because it's public information, right?
Okay.
And I'm allowed to ask for it verbally on the telephone or come and get it on the
You
computer.
can certainly do an information request, and we'll be glad to provide.
So you're not supposed to make me jump through hoops when you have it right at your fingertips on the computer.
No, but can
You
do-
have it at your fingerprints but see what you're doing is you're going to make it hard for me when you have it right at your fingertips. See, that information isn't yours. It belongs to us, we the people.
Exactly.
Got it? Right? And you're not supposed to make it hard for us. You pay this lady, I don't know how much an hour. She's got the computer right there. She can look it up. She's not doing anything else.
Well, you're welcome to stay out here.
So I can ask for it verbally.
You can
So I'm
ask,
asking
but
for it
you'll need to
verbally.
do an information request.
So you're denying me
Okay.
per law, per Texas law. Did you not know that was a law to get that? Did you know that was a law?
Open record request.
So you're not going to do it what the law says when she can just sit there, go around that corner and type. Then go do it. Go do it. Go type her name in. Go. No, that's not how it works, mister. That's not how it works.
So, what is everyone thinking right now? Let's start with Lavender. What are you thinking so far of this?
Well, I want to know if there's any proof of these pregnant ladies not getting any medical attention or buckets or whatever was said about that. Then
Nope,
why
I can't
do you
get in there
make
to find
those-
it.
Why would you make those kind of accusations if you don't have proof of it? And then expect him to help you. You're accusing him of things that you don't know for a fact.
Later on, I asked them if I can go in and see it, and they tell me no.
Well, no.
So, I mean, how
going
you
to let you tour the jail?
If you, well, you can. If you hear rumors of something going on, that's what I want to know. I want confirmation of if it's true or not. So he's either got to provide me information. Doesn't he? Now it's the ball's in his court where he has to show me proof that it's not happening.
That's a private firm. That it's not like you're
No,
going into a
it's a
normal
Texas.
county
It's a Texas
jail.
jail. It's a
But
jail.
it's a private
No, it's a
jail.
regular county jail.
That's why
It's a private management corporation, not a private jail. It's a private management corporation, but it's not a private jail. It's a management.
It's privately
So we have the right to know if our correct.
Okay.
But if you're privately run and you're working for the government, they're under the same laws that we are. They have to follow the same laws we are doing. For instance, I went to a probation office that was in a private building, and they had to follow the same laws that they do in a regular government building because they're occupying it as and presenting themselves as government. So they're under the same laws we are. Just because they're a private management company, they still have to follow the same laws as the other jails do.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
a
I'm not
private
gonna
business
say
that's
anything else
publicly.
'cause you can't.
So LaSalle is a family-run prison firm. Okay. That's
Yes,
interesting.
they still have to follow the same laws as Texas.
Yeah. Taco, what do you think?
Okay, here's a couple things that I've seen so far that I've kind of been about. the big thing was, when he's talking to you and you're talking to him, you're kind of talking over him when he's trying to explain things. When, if you listen to him and then you talk back afterwards, I think he'd be more willing to, possibly work with you. Whereas
Possibly.
when you're just
You're right.
when you're talking right over him, that's pretty much, he's not going to care. He's going to make you jump
Right.
through every hoop possible.
Right. You're right.
And
He had already told me no, so I just want to throw it at him that, hey, you do have to give me it. So
but
he already told me no, he wasn't going to give it to me.
But if you try to treat, when you show it like that, you're stooping down to their level.
You're right.
Whereas if you were to, like in Kenny's previous video where the guy was saying, hey, if you kill them with kindness and you stay at a higher level, you're showing that they're the one acted immature, they're the one being a jerk.
Right.
That makes a huge difference. And also, if you listen, sometimes you might be able to catch something that you might be able to work with. Good like it says,
Or use,
Joe Kaiser saying good communication skills go a long way. And part of that is good listening skills. And when you're
that's part of communication. You're right.
When you're talking over each other, you're not listening. When you're speaking, you're not listening, and that's a big part of it. And you're possibly missing out on something that he's saying that could possibly be helping you.
Yeah, because I think when you, I'm hold on, I'll just real quick. I just want to insert something and then you finish. And when you're talking like that, it's already in kind of like you're already expecting you a negative response. So you're not gonna, like Tom was saying, you're not really gonna be listening to the words they're saying. You could be missing out on something. He could have given you the information, you just didn't hear it because you're already in defense mode.
Right. Yeah, true. Yeah, I just couldn't believe I met somebody who'd been there a month without even being arraigned. That just blew me away. And for them, not the reason why they were telling me no, I think, is because they knew it. They knew it, and they didn't want that proof. That would have been proof had they given me the jail roster.
And
so
there you go, assuming things again.
That was part of it too.
Then the other couple things I have are
you can assume things if you gather the clues to things.
Well, then it's no longer assuming things if you have all the kind of the clues or the facts. But okay. Besides that, though,
right? That's that roster that would have been proof.
Right. But the other things I had was, they tell you that other areas, not the lobby, and you kind of sneak your way back in there again to talk to her again. That kind of sets them off too a little bit.
But I mean, if they tell me no, and I just say okay, thanks, and walk out, what does that accomplish? Why can't I argue with them a little bit?
Well, they tell. But if they tell you, this area is off limits, and then you go and, go back in there, it's not.
Yeah.
You're kind of you're defeating the purpose. You're hurting your case again when they're already, if she's already doing what you're kind of asking her to do, and she tells you, I need you to stay, back in the lobby, and then you go back in there while she's doing what you need her to do, it kind of hurts you a little bit. But
Gary, that's why I went in to get the roster, so I would know. That's why I went in to get the roster. I don't know if the lady in front is lying to me or not yet. That's why I went in to get clarification.
Which is a good thing you did. All right, Josiah, what do you think so far?
Well, I just believe that Carolina should have come in there with some facts. She should have asked the woman how long she was in there, what she was charged with, why she wasn't arraigned, and then go. But you didn't present any of that information to them.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to put her on the camera. That's why I wrote it in the
No. But I mean, you didn't present any. you made very blanket statements and demands. You know, and
No, I told that lady,
that's
the lady with the red hair, that she'd been in there.
Mhm. Yeah, but the thing she asked, remember, she asked you if the lady had her release papers. Did you go back and get release papers?
Yes.
You
No, I
gave
didn't go
them to
back and
her?
get them because she
Okay.
had that right at her fingertips. Why would I have to, So she was just released. So why didn't she just look it up on her computer, So
Mm.
if, that's why I was going to see if she could look it up on her computer to see if she
Yeah,
was
see,
on the roster or not, to see
I,
what, I wanted to
I'm
see
not
if she
sure.
could get it out of her computer.
Yeah, that, I mean, if she was just released, I doubt they deleted the file.
Right. I mean, I wanted to find out if this lady out front was lying to me for one, But see, I thought, okay, if she was just, I'm not going to go outside and get that lady's release form when they could just look it up. And if it's not there, then what's going on? If they don't have it in their computer, you see.
And they don't have to
So
give
that's
you
why I wanted her to
personal
look it up, the
information,
lady.
though. They don't have
Also,
to give you that personal information,
Yes.
Caroline.
Everything on
Your
the jail
lawyer.
roster is public information, even their
Yeah, but
age,
your
everything.
lawyer would tell you
Huh?
that. They don't have to give you
No, my lawyer.
that.
No. Yes, they do. It's the jail roster. It's public information. Anybody that's in the jail you're allowed to see who they are, what they did, or what they're accused of, everything. That's so that we don't lose people. And so that we know like where they're at. That's what the jail roster is so important. Also, you can learn a lot from it too. Like a lot of people get charges after they're in jail, and that they'll show up on the jail roster also.
Have you
That's what you don't think a jail
successfully
roster is
ever
important?
gotten?
yeah, she
Have you
said
Oh
successfully
yeah, oh
ever
yeah.
gotten one?
What? Yeah,
she said this is the
Monte
only
County.
one she hasn't got them from.
Monte County gives them to me. Arlington City Prison, all of them do. Well, there's a lot I haven't gotten in my hand, but they had them out they had them on a clipboard outside in the lobby. They have them scrolling on a TV set. So yeah, the jail roster is public information.
She gets it from
It's
every
it's
other
just,
place except this place. That's why she was kind of
it's to prevent
suspicious about it,
tyranny.
because they're like, they don't have it.
It's
Trying to figure
it's
out
to
why they
prevent
don't have
tyranny.
it.
Yeah, that's why I want to know why they don't have it. And it's just like if you're like in Venezuela or something, you would never know where somebody went after they got scooped up. So that's why it's so important that we keep it public information and make them aware of it too.
Well, we're not dealing with Venezuela. We're dealing with the United States.
I know, but
There's a lot of
Right, but we could
assumptions.
turn it.
Now there's a lot of assumptions,
Don't we have to?
presumptions, and rumors that you go by, Caroline. And you know that. You do that all the
But don't we
time.
have to make sure that we keep it? Don't we have to make sure we keep our rights by exercising them?
We haven't ever
I mean, what's
lost
wrong with
any
asking for the
rights.
jail roster?
What are you doing with it? Once
Yeah.
you do get it, what do you do
Not
with it?
yet. Nothing. Nothing.
Then
Well, why
why do
don't you
you go in
present
and
it?
Not doing
demand
anything.
it?
I go in to get it because it's public information, and they should have that available to people who don't have access to a computer, who are looking for family members, who need to know that kind of information. Somebody walking in after me, or maybe even before me, but mainly after me.
And so jail records
I got
are
Monte
public.
County. They put it up.
Records are public
Jail
records.
records are public.
Usually you need the name and the state. They don't usually. So here's the thing: they don't normally just. You can't just say, "Hey, is this?" You can't. You have to have a name and state. Usually they don't just let you look at the whole roster. They usually have to have kind of more of a refined search.
Yeah, smaller jails give me the whole roster, but like there was a lady that was arrested in Arlington that I saw, and we were trying to get her some money. So I went to the booking sheet for that day. So you can get the booking sheet because it only has like 20 or 30 people on it. That's supposed to be public information too, and that's how I was able to get her first and last name from the booking sheet. The one that there was one in Arlington. This lady was getting arrested on the street in Arlington, and that's how I found her. So by the booking sheet.
Oh no, that's how it is in California, Yoda. You can look up any inmate with a name, find out where they are, if they're in jail. I can do it. That's why I found Josh was in jail. I just put his name in the thing, and he found him. All right. So anyway, let's.
But if you don't know what jail,
That's
your
the
loved
issue.
one's in, then you have to have the roster so you can look at the whole thing. Like if you don't know what jail they're in, or if like say you just went out on a date with someone and you the first night and you forgot what their last name was and they get arrested, then you can go into the jail roster and look, or the booking sheet.
But she was in there for a whole month. What happened to her family? Why didn't her family? I mean, her family knew she
Oh,
was in here.
this comes back to socioeconomic status. She's from Dallas. She told me later she had a 17-year-old kid that didn't know what to do because she didn't, and her elderly father. And they had recently moved from, I can't remember where. I can't remember where they'd moved from, but it all comes back to like you believe what the person on the phone tells you, or you believe what the person with the badge. My daughter got arrested. Okay, she'd gotten so many tickets, it's unbelievable. She's her first year in semester in college, right? She got picked up for tickets. I went over to the jail to get her out. The lady said, "Oh no, you can't get her out today. She has a ticket over here, a ticket over here, a ticket over here. They have to take her to all those places first." And I'm like, "Oh hell no," because I just paid for a whole semester of college. So I pulled all the money out of my bra with the money, all the money with all the for all the fines. I said, "Will this help?" And the lady goes, "Oh yeah, you can pay the fine." But the first thing she told me was, "Come back in 2 weeks." How many people are going to believe that lady with the badge that told them to come back in 2 weeks? They would turn around and walk out and come back in 2 weeks. You see, so that's the kind of thing that we deal with, is that people don't want to help people. So if they did, they'll just kind of blow them off, or they won't give them the right information, so they don't call back because that's bothersome. So sometimes a lot of these people get misinformation or misled, or they got someone that's not telling them the correct information in order to get someone out or whatever. And also, you have to have money for a lawyer for some situation. So they had no money for a lawyer either.
So Yoda's saying where he is, they have these things called busted magazines. They take the jail roster charge and make a magazine out of it. So apparently, in where Yoda's from, they make a magazine, and you're famous, I guess, in the magazine. In jail.
Also, if they're not giving me a jail roster, how these people aren't helping me with a jail roster or anything, how are they going to help this family of this woman, you know?
All right, so let's continue on, see how this goes.
What's your name again, dude? Dude, what's your name? What capacity are you? The sheriff, or what are you?
I'm not the sheriff.
Okay.
I do work for the sheriff's office.
Is there somebody higher up than you that'll follow the law? Because you're breaking the law. Why can't you guys follow the rules? You're not going to follow the rules set by the Texas Attorney General? You're not going to follow the rules from the Texas Attorney General? All right, that's on you. You might want to check my YouTube channel. We'll see how many phone calls you're going to get up here for this. Okay.
Only one that sent that to me.
Right, to get the public information that I need. There she is. Hey, how many rights did you violate today? How many constitutional rights did you violate today? How many people did you deny medical service? Do you enjoy working here because you get your $21.50 an hour because you're fed? How many rights did you violate today?
Money.
How many rights did you violate today?
I'm not going to raise some hell now. I'm bringing awareness, and
How many rights did you violate
I'm
today?
going to be rude. I don't care. They're not giving me what I'm asking for.
Have a little test here. That's kind of like.
How would you
gross
like
looking.
somebody to do that
Why
to
don't you-
your
why don't you
mother
cover them
or
things?
sister? Just assume that all these
Oh,
things.
well, you know, I'm going to be rude to her for about 5 minutes. I don't think that's going to hurt her or hurt her self-esteem or anything, the way they treat the people inside there. So I don't think that 5 minutes of me being rude to her,
You
maybe
don't know.
if I'm
Have
rude to
you
her,
been
she'll
in there?
realize that she's being.
Have you been in there?
Have I been where?
In jail. In that jail.
That jail? Not that jail.
Have you ever been arrested
But
and
maybe
put in jail?
Not that jail.
Any jail.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're all rude.
I didn't say they were all rude. I said I was going to be rude
You're
to her for
assuming
5
this
minutes.
by yelling at her and asking her if she's beat anybody and if she enjoys getting
Sure did.
paid what she does. That
Yeah,
is
sure
rude,
did.
and you have no proof
Very
of that.
rude. It's very rude. I
And
didn't
you have no proof of
of
that.
proof of. No, that's why I'm asking her. I don't have proof of that.
You're not asking her. You're yelling it at her.
You're
I'm yelling it at
abusing
her.
her.
Did you beat anybody
You're
today?
verbally attacking her.
Yes, you're right.
You're making unfounded allegations.
Yes,
Yes.
you're right. Yeah, I
against an
am.
officer.
I am. Yes.
And
you have
everyone
no
that
so
basis.
if
within
she
me,
were to
within
turn
reach of my
around,
ears. Yeah.
Hold on, guys, one at a
Carolina,
time.
we have no basis for
Hold on, guys.
Sorry.
Maurice. And then after that,
No,
we'll
I
throw
don't.
on
I'm doing it because I'm just not going to turn around. I mean, I'm trying to get something done here. I don't want to just walk into my car with my tail between my legs. Oh, they told me no. I guess that's it. No, I'm going to raise a little bit of a fracas before I
Yeah,
go.
but
Yeah,
what
I
is
am.
that? What does that
that's not going
accomplish?
to accomplish anything.
Yeah, what does that accomplish? That makes you feel better,
What is
but
that?
I mean,
Well, it
other than
doesn't.
that, what does it accomplish?
It makes them think. It makes them think to let
No,
them
it
know that we
doesn't.
know that we're what. Okay, you didn't let me finish.
Let
No,
her
it
finish.
doesn't.
Okay.
Let her finish though. Let her finish.
It
And then
makes
you can
them. It
respond.
makes
Let me
them understand.
finish.
It makes them understand that there are people from the outside that are going to be looking, which I'm trying to get more groups involved in this too. So I am that's part of the purpose too. So let them know we know that something's going on and it's not right. So maybe they better start either snitching on the other people or doing something. But yeah, I'm going to raise a little hell with them, and I don't think a little bit of 5 minutes to talk to them rudely, I don't think that's going to hurt them.
Are you truly working with other organizations?
I've been trying to nobody's picking it up yet.
No.
I have to, I've left emails and stuff with some of these groups, but I need to drive back to there. I need to actually drive back and talk to the sheriff. I do.
Okay, Carolina, if you're going to work with groups and you need to start getting your, you need to start you need to start networking, and you need to have contacts before you show up. Otherwise, you just go. Number one, you're going to stuff them up because you're acting on their behalf, or you'll say you're going to act on their behalf. So your credibility with those groups and your credibility with the police department will negate everything you are attempting to do.
Sure.
Do you understand
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. So for you to go in there,
I get that.
so for you to go in there and assume something, you don't know what the charges are, you don't know what her background is, you don't know what the cops are, you don't know what they're investigating.
Don't know anything.
Okay, you don't.
And,
You
I
don't
could
know.
learn a lot of
You
that
don't know.
off the roster.
You've got one. You're going on one. Hang on.
Hold on. Yeah,
Shush.
Carolina, hold on. Let her
Shush.
finish.
You're going on one person's account of what is happening. Okay.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So you don't know what the whole background is. You don't know the whole story. All right.
Correct.
Okay.
You're right.
You do not have the contacts with the advocates that can actually help to go in there and actually well, obviously it's not working because otherwise you would take them with you. You should be taking them with you to work with them.
This is my first visit out there.
For the simple reason that they can get access to the information you can't because you're walking in there and saying, I demand. Okay? It doesn't matter. You don't know what's going on. The advocates have more of a right to find out what is going on than you do. Okay? So under charters and under memorandums of understanding that they will be able to find out more information. You are just going off on one side and accusing people of doing things that they're not doing, like this officer walking down the road now.
Okay. All right. So when I walked in, I was very nice to them, asking for the jail roster. Now here's something that's kind of strange. If they're not going to give me the jail roster, what else are they hiding? That's my concern. Why did she want to send me out to go get that piece of paper when she could have looked it up on her computer? Right? So that's part of it too. If they're going to already be shady with the jail roster, what is next? What else is going to be shady? That was my concern.
Well, there's nothing shady about it.
There's nothing shady about the
There's nothing shady about it. You walking in there and demanding things.
I did demand it. I asked for it, and when they did not give it to me, that's when I got rude. So.
And when you got rude, then they can tell you basically to go and kick rocks.
Exactly.
The other thing is you're filming in a jailhouse.
They would not give me that jail roster if I went in there with candy and drinks and hot chocolate. They were not going to give me that jail roster. They were not, and that's why.
But hey, they'd appreciate the hot chocolate. Who wouldn't appreciate?
Yeah, they would have. They would have. But I just
the thing is, okay, you can look at it. You can't film it. There's other information in there. There's privacy concerns.
No, this is the government.
You can look at it. You can't film it.
It's a government building. I'm allowed to film it. I can't film it.
No, you already told me I could film it. You are not supposed to be filming any. Oh, for fuck's sake, Carolina! You are not supposed to be filming it in any correction center.
That man told me I could welcome to film anything I want. Did you not hear him say that?
No, I didn't. Actually.
He did. That man said I'm welcome to film anything I want. He told me that.
In the lobby.
In that.
No, he told me
in the lobby.
He said outside too. And then outside too.
Yeah, outside and in the lobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
All right, so
that
we
doesn't give you
have
that doesn't,
Sean is new, and I'm gonna let Sean chime in his 2 cents here. Sean.
You know, I just the few times I've ever spoken to Carolina, she comes off as having more style than a lot of the auditors. But when you go in there and start with the whose rights to be violated today, whose laws have you broken today, you're no better than Josh. You're no better than No Name. You're no better than News New England. It's the same spiel.
I know, but this is what I was hoping somebody would. I want them to know that we're looking. I wanted them to know. If I would, what if I just would
Well,
have
they
gotten in
know
my
you're
car and
looking.
left?
You know what? And they also know
I want them on their
they're going
toes.
to ignore you next time.
I want them on their toes for next time.
Carolina, they don't care about you. You're not that important.
Yeah.
And I'm not
It's
Josh. I know.
probably personal, but they got plenty of people coming in and out all the time, and you know, it's like, and they probably have seen everybody's channel by now. It's like, oh, we know who you are, and we know how it's going to go.
I don't think so. I think they don't
All right,
watch.
so
Well, Caroline, sorry.
Let me ask you.
And it was. Go ahead, Morgie.
So
And also,
let's
this lady was
hang on, Carolina. Just hang on a second. You've got your camera version with your soundtrack on it. They've got all their camera versions of what happened in there as well.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you're putting your spin on what's actually happened and what is what has actually happened. They don't care about you. You're an annoyance. That's all you are. You're
I know. I'm going to be even more
like a
annoying.
mosquito. You're like a mosquito.
That's right. And I'm going to be even more annoying. And look at how sloppy she's dressed. Her smoking right there on the property that she's not supposed to be doing that either. So there's another rule.
Who cares?
The point is,
She could be on a break.
But see, you cannot allowed to smoke on state property. So if they're breaking these little tiny rules, what else is going on inside? That's my point.
Their jobs.
It's not your problem.
Wow, paranoid much.
Okay. So
It's not your
Carolina,
problem.
you said that you want them to be on their toes, right? Now,
Right.
now, let's put yourself in. Let's say you're at a job, right, and you're performing. If somebody comes and starts belittling you and accusing you of all these things, are you going to be more on your toes around that person, or are you going to be more on your toes around the person that's coming in and being like, well, hey, what's going on here? Why isn't this going on? You know, is there any way I can get some help here? Like, okay, I'll be right back. Which one do you think is going to get? Which one's going to get the more attention? Say, why I need to be on my toes around this person?
But that's the whole
The person
point.
that's just trolling you.
Even though when you're nice to them.
But your whole point was you said you're doing it so you can keep them on their toes. My question is, which one do you think is going to put them on their toes? The fact that you're being rude to them, and now there's like you say they're just considering you an annoyance, and they're not going to listen.
I know.
But if you come at them in a correct,
they weren't listening when I brought the sugar to them and was asking nicely. They weren't listening. So
but then
why does it
you
matter?
bring your back
That's what
up.
I'm saying.
You bring your back up. Bring the legal system into it. You bring your lawyer. You bring lawyers into it. You bring that stuff like that, and that's where it keeps them on their toes. Just sitting there like that is just it. I mean, it doesn't.
I want them to remember me. I want them to remember me next time I come back.
That they will remember you, but they're not gonna have any
They're gonna
credibility
remember
with
you
them.
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, they're not going to want to. Next time you ask a question, they're not going to want to ask you because they know you're just going to, you know.
But they have to because they're government people.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. They don't have to give you anything. They don't have to answer you. Let me tell you something. Under the charter, if you act like a fucking dickhead, they don't have to tell you anything. And I can tell you that for a fact.
Well, they weren't going to tell me
They are
anything
not
either.
under absolutely no obligation to give you anything if you act like a dickhead. If you demand shit, they don't have to do it. If you go by the correct rules, then they will very much.
I mean, happily right from the start.
Carolina, I am telling you, a public servant does not have to put up with your bullshit. Okay, that is why you people get trespassed on a regular basis. That's why you get your asses kicked out. That's why you get arrested for disorderly. Okay,
but shouldn't they have?
They don't have to put up with it. They really don't have to put up with it. And the fact that they show the professionalism of not arresting you half the time, you should put down to them. Because I'm telling you now, public servants do not actually have to put up with that kind of bullshit.
Okay, so if we have to follow the rules and the laws, don't you think they should have to follow the rules and laws too?
They are.
And this lady's smoking on state property, and they don't give me the roster. So those are two small little rules that they've broken, right? But
Okay,
that's
fine,
not.
smoking on property.
Okay,
You know what
now
that
you're
is?
talking over
That's a
me.
Karen
Hold on, you
attitude
can't.
right there. That's
I
a
was trying to make
Karen
a point.
word.
I was trying
In
to make a
Texas,
point.
in Texas, you can't smoke on state property.
Everybody knows that. Yeah. Well, not if you're not from Texas, but you can't smoke on state property. You can't even go in your car and smoke because that's cheating. But I was saying, if they're going to break these little two rules, what's happening? Major rules on the inside. And let's say I do believe the lady that did not get arraigned. She did not get arraigned. Let's say I believed her. There's another one right there. So I'm already finding out that one, if I believe him, and if we believe her, she sat there for a month without being arraigned. Two, they won't show me proof that she wasn't with the jail roster. And three, now she's breaking this small rule with the cigarettes. So now we got these little rules that are like, whoa, big red flags that something major might be happening on the inside, and it might be bad. So that's why I was got a little antsy with them and was jumping to conclusions, thinking, well, okay, if they're doing these things here, what are they doing on the inside to these people? So
Let's watch the rest of the video, Kenny. Let's watch the rest of the video.
I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. If that made sense to anybody.
Things up, man. Don't make you look very ladylike.
Yeah, our tattoos were uncovered.
How many rights did you violate? Hey, how many rights did y'all violate today? What are you afraid of, lady? What are you afraid of? Why won't y'all answer me and give me rosters? Oh, telling all your newbies to go back, huh? Because y'all had a bunch of people walk out. All you new hires should ask, why did all the other ones walk out? All you new hires should ask why everybody else walked out. Find out why you're all replacing all the ones that walked out. Find out. They had a big walkout. You should find out why. Find out why all those people walked out. You guys are second choice people. Find out. Just find out why. You guys are new hires, right? Are y'all new hires? Are y'all new hires? Yeah, you are. You're the trustees of new hires. Find out why everybody quit before you. You don't hire this many people. Who would quit from a $21 an hour job with all the benefits? Find out why. They couldn't stomach all the conditions in there that the prisoners are going through. $21.50 an hour is not going to be worth you not being able to sleep at night. Don't forget to put your mask on. Put the cigarettes out. No one else is wearing masks. Are you with LaSalle or are you with Johnson County? Are you with LaSalle or Johnson County? Have you gone through the pods to see the kind of conditions they're in? I don't know. It's your prison, not mine. How come you guys haven't toured inside there and checked it out?
Do we have a what?
How come you haven't toured your pods to see the conditions over there? The conditions. Let's see if you should walk through there and see if any of your relatives should be in those kind of conditions.
What's your name, ma'am?
I don't give names.
You don't give
No. I don't have to. I'm not doing anything wrong. Just asking questions. Oh, Cam back. I got Cam back. Wait, hang on.
Cam back here, make sure. Hey, so now you want to wear your mask.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's right.
We don't have to wear it out in the wind.
Wait, get my.
You doing all right?
That it? That's all I got? No, I'm not doing all right. I think our conditions here are appalling, and I think that you're really.
You been inside there?
How about a tour?
Huh?
Why don't you
Am I
give-
going in the tour?
Well, there we go. So I can't.
You might have corona. Why would I put my people at risk in there?
Why do you have them overcrowded in there?
They're not overcrowded.
Yes, they are.
We're way short.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't care if you believe.
How come you won't give me a jail roster?
You can put in an open record.
No, that's you're not. Look. The jail roster, the bookend sheet is supposed to be available upon verbal request.
Now, you know what? This is a facility of a jail.
Yeah.
Just don't give that information without open request.
Are you serious? I can find it on a computer.
Find it. Don't
But you're
have
not
to-
supposed to make it hard for me because you know the public information. You're just a keeper of it, the custodian of it. That information belongs to we the people, right? That information.
We the people too, man.
Yes. So you don't make it hard for we the people. You're just a custodian. That information belongs to me. And when you have to make me jump through hoops for that, the attorney general will find out.
You think I really worry about that?
No, you
doing
don't.
my job?
No, you don't. You know.
I told
Who
you
are
not to
you?
do it. I cannot give you that out without.
That's a lie.
Give open records. I'm not going to give you anything.
You're just supposed to give it to me verbally. You're not supposed to make me jump through hoops to get
Okay,
it.
we've
So you
got-
need to tour your pod.
We've got how many names do I need to remember? Oh, can't remember any.
Remember any names for what? For the jail roster?
That's what you just asked for the
You
names.
could go on the computer and get it for me. Who are you?
I'm Chief Reinhardt. I'm over the jail.
You're the warden?
No, I'm over the jail.
When's the last time you toured the place?
Yesterday.
And you didn't notice the buckets of water that were leaking and everything leaking when it rained? You didn't notice that?
Ma'am.
You didn't notice the half-cooked food? You didn't notice all the people that are sitting there without being arraigned?
Ma'am, I can assure you.
What's a conspiracy charge? You can assure me what? Go ahead.
No, I can assure you that the jail is clean, safe, and I'm trying to keep it COVID free.
Why don't you let me see it?
You can't go in there.
Then how can you prove it?
I'm telling you.
I'm just getting
what better than you'll ever know.
Better than the words of the people that had to live in it?
You know what? There's not a complaint I got about dirtiness.
Do you know that 60% are in there without being have a trial yet? They're just in there waiting trial.
You know what, ma'am? We don't have.
So why do you treat them so bad?
The courts aren't open because
so they have to sit there if they're innocent, right? They might be innocent, but you're making them sit in there.
They could be guilty.
And they could be. So, but you're going to make them sit for 2 years till the trial comes
That's
up?
not my job, ma'am. My
No,
job
of course
is to
not.
house them and make sure they have everything.
Well, how come you haven't done that?
Well,
Don't let anybody outsider see.
we don't have visitation right now.
Mm.
You can go on Zoom. You can. There's a lot of things that we have.
I want to see right now what's going on in there.
What?
I want to see right now what's going on in there.
You're not going in.
So how can you prove it?
I can help you.
Nope, you can't. You can't prove it.
I can prove it.
No, you can't. You can't. Can't prove it. There they go. Now they're really going to call for disorderly. I got to get out of here. He drove all the way over here. Oh, one last word, right? So he told him to come talk to me. All right, we'll see. That's right, kiss that ass. Well, let me get first, really. I'm gonna get out.
Okay, so my first question would be, did you put in a publish request for the record?
Yes, I haven't got. I got. I did, and on the 10th day, they sent me a letter saying, "Are you sure this is what you want?" That gave them another 10 days. So.
Okay, so all right, so you're waiting. You're currently waiting on.
Can I interject here just a second? Can I interject?
Hold on.
Okay. You keep telling the guy that he can't prove this and he can't prove that. Well, he's not charging anybody with anything. If it's just like prosecution and defendant. Prosecution is charging the defendant, or the prosecution has to prove it to the defendant. In this case,
right.
you're the prosecution. He's the defendant. You have to prove it. He doesn't have to disprove anything. You have to prove it. You have to have the proof of any allegation.
How am I going to do that?
Any discrepancies and anything else that's going on inside the jail.
How do I do that? How do I get in there to see and stuff? What should I do?
Well,
Get arrested.
That's the thing. See, here's the thing. Like with COVID's really fucked everything up.
Mm-hmm.
The guy said there's no visitation, right? He told you straight up, there's no visitation. No one goes in, but you're still sitting there trying to demand to go in there to find out all this stuff. When he already told you there's no visitation, right? And then he brought up the court thing, and he told you, well, we're not having court right now. He gave you answers for listening, and they weren't, I don't know if they weren't good enough for you, but I mean, it's like you're trying to ask the guy that's running the jail all these questions that you should be asking the legislation, maybe the board, the prison board or something like that. The guy that runs it, he's the gatekeeper there. He follows rules that are sent down to him, right?
Not the jail roster.
The jail roster, like he told you that the jail roster thing was he's not going to give it to you on verbal command. Maybe that's something that this particular county has, like they don't just you have to do the public records request. I think once he told you that, honestly, should have been over right then and there. So okay, fine, I'll just get a public request, and then if you had any other following questions, it could have went from there. But
how do I get him to follow the rule that you're supposed to give it upon those 3 things? I mean, how do you get him to do like?
Told you public. He told you.
How do you get him to follow the rule that he's supposed to give it?
Carolina.
You misunderstood the question, Margie.
Carolina.
That's how you interrupt me.
Carolina.
Really?
Listen. What did he say? No visitors because of COVID. That means you'd go through the public record request.
Give him the roster like he's
He
supposed
doesn't
to.
have to. You weren't even supposed to be there. You were lucky you weren't arrested.
The law says he's supposed to give me the roster.
No. Carolina, you were not supposed to be there. No visitors.
Oh, yes, I was supposed to be there.
No visitors. He just said that. So you're the one who was breaking the rules.
Where am I?
And excuse me. One other thing. If you noticed, whoever those other people were, they were actually smoking on outside. So obviously there's a designated smoking area outside.
Nope. They can't do that.
Obviously there is, because
they were smoking over there by their trucks. They weren't smoking in any designated area.
Yes, they were. When she was walking back in, you can see. You can't
smoke. You can't smoke over there.
Well, they're smoking, aren't they? So there's obviously some kind of designated smoking area that they're allowed to smoke in.
Outside the gate.
You've just made outside the building. So you've made another.
Margie.
Carolina.
Margie.
Just shut up.
Outside the gate.
Just shut up. All right.
Interrupting each other here.
You're making assumptions.
I'm not. I live in Texas.
You are making assumptions. If there are 4 people smoking in outside the building, smoking is usually inside the building. Usually there is a designated place, and it is in the rules. Have you seen the rules of the building for employees?
I know Texas law.
Have you seen the rules of the building for employees?
Have you seen the rule for the Texas government? The government rules for Texas and people were smoking on government property. Have you seen that rule?
On government property usually means within the building, or there's usually a designated. You will usually find. Excuse me. You will usually find, unless in a designated area. Okay.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong, am I?
Yeah.
You will usually find it will be in a designated area. Everybody has it.
Not here in Texas.
Yeah, see, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with the Texas law, but I looked it up, and this is what I found out on. Then again, this is online, so it says no public employee or member of the public shall smoke any tobacco product inside a public building or in an outdoor area within 20 feet of a main exit, entrance, or operable window of a public building. Pretty much the same thing in California, except California, I think it's 50 feet or something like that.
This is look up state property, like county property, like it's government property. That's what it is. You're talking about.
That's what I just looked.
You're talking about.
I put into Google. I said, "Can you smoke on state property in Texas?" And this is what comes up.
20 feet from the building.
That's what it is on private property. But I'm going to see. I don't want to take my time to look it up, but I know because I worked at the Texas State Hospital, and we couldn't. When that law first came out, we had to go all the way outside the gate to smoke. I quit smoking since then, and so we started smoking in our cars, and we couldn't do that either. So I know that because it was a Texas State Hospital. That's why I knew that.
Okay, well,
they gave me a copy of the law back then, but that was years ago.
Remember, I did live for a little bit. I don't remember that a lot. I remember from Texas is I walked into a bar and people were smoking still in a bar. One of the only states that still allowed that. So for Texas that you can't smoke on state buildings didn't really sound right to me. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't think Texas would go for that at all. They wouldn't vote that shit at all. They're all about their freedom.
They're so conservative. They're so conservative. They're real conservative too, though. Like when it comes to abortion.
Last time I was in Texas, I was still smoking in restaurants.
See, I don't think they can do that anymore now, but I think in certain areas they can. Because I don't know, when I was in the sports bar, man, it smelled like a freaking ashtray. So anyway, so now I want everyone to kind of give their analysis of it one at a time, and here's what we're gonna do. And so it doesn't turn into that big old shouting match again. Whoever's talking, Caroline, you let them finish. You can respond to them. Someone else responds to them, okay? and then until you get your turn, then you respond to something, just so we don't have any kind of argument. Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's start with Lavender.
There really was no purpose to this audit. Nothing got accomplished. Nothing. They're not going to remember you for what you think they are. They're going to talk about you all day and say, that crazy bitch, you heard her out there screaming. They're not going to mention anything about a jail roster. They're not going to mention any of those points that you want them to remember because of the way that you come off by attacking everyone. You go in there with false allegations, no proof, nothing to back up what you're saying. And on top of it, you're rude. If you go in there, you are. You never let
I
anybody
am rude. I am. When they're rude
answer.
to me first, I'm going to be rude back for sure. I am. You're right. I'm going to be rude back for sure.
Okay. Ty. You there, Josiah?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear. I agree with Lavender that I think your approach when you go in there, Carolina, and you being a teacher, you know that approach is everything. And I feel like you were approaching them like you would approach a student and not an adult who is responsible for a position. That's all.
Well, I've been in sales too. And when one approach doesn't work, you try another one. So that was my point of doing that. I think the people inside would be glad at least somebody was out there trying to fight for them. Especially the ones that are there without cause. They're stuck.
Gary. Gary, you're muted if you're talking.
Okay. Alrighty.
You were talking when you were muted.
Yeah. I just want to go back, refer to what I was saying before. When you're yelling at him to prove it, he's not going to try to prove your case. You have to prove your case.
I know. He wasn't going to prove it no matter what.
And there's an old saying, it's cornier than hell, but there's an old saying, you're going to catch more flies with sugar than you are with vinegar.
Yeah. Out there, though. I tried with the sugar at first, but it didn't work.
I didn't see any sugar. I'm sorry.
Well, at first she wasn't aggressive. She asked for the records. The lady looked like she was going to help her, but then it just really devolved quickly as it went on.
The lady was helping me until that man came out. Because they got something to hide. I know they do. That was another reason that gave me cause to think they had something to hide, because she was basically looking for it, but he wanted her to stop. So it's like, that was kind of weird to me too. Like, what else are they hiding?
Or maybe she didn't know that she couldn't look it up on a command and you had to get it via a public records request. Maybe she didn't know that. I mean, that's the thing. We don't know. Maybe talk to someone higher up to find out exactly what it is. Do they have to get it to you? Give it to you? Because if they do, then fine. Yeah, they did something wrong, right? But if they don't, well, hold on. Let's but remember, maybe you were also just a little bit ago thinking that you couldn't smoke on state property, and you found out that you can. So could it be possible that maybe you might be wrong on this one too? Maybe.
No, it says I actually found the law. I'll put it in private chat that you can't smoke on state property, but this is county property, so they might have a different rule. But
maybe that's what it is. Okay. All right. So, Sean, go ahead.
I just felt like, coming in late, I get a general idea what she's trying to do, but like following the lady who had the cigarette in her hand, yeah, there might be an issue there, but it comes off almost like a Karen video.
Yeah.
Let's pick at the little things. Big picture. Stay on the big picture and let the little ones go. Yeah, they might be screwing up, but they're not hurting anybody outside.
Ooh, but they're hurting some people inside, I bet.
But you want to stay on the big picture. And then you have a much better chance of succeeding if they know that you got one thing in mind and that's all you're here to do.
Right.
Everything else, you let it go.
I should have just turned around and left, I guess, when they told me no.
No. I mean, there's a way to fight, but you can't be yelling at people. Whose rights you got? You know, after that, it's like when your mom yells at you too much. After a while, your ears close down. That's exactly what they're going to be thinking. You know, I don't hear you anymore.
I wanted to cause a ruckus.
I know you did, and so you did.
I wanted to cause a ruckus because I want them to know that I know that they're lying to me about that jail roster and probably a lot of other things too. I wanted them to know that.
But if the man says they're not full, you have to take him at his word. You can't call him a liar.
But if we had the jail roster, we would know.
He told you something, and if you can disprove him, fine. Otherwise, you're not. You're just putting him on the defensive, and he's less likely to help. You want to cultivate a friend inside.
Yeah.
And if you can just get one, and he's above others, you got a better chance.
Jail roster would have proved a lot of the stuff I was asking.
Well, maybe it will. But yeah,
Plus, afterwards too, when I was getting all those people telling me that they were trying to get rid of this company, that a lot of people have been complaining, that was another another proof that, yeah, you know what, I think they're doing something on the inside that's not quite right. Somebody needs to know about this some more.
Where's the proof of
people in
that?
jail who are happy to be there?
That's it. How can we get in and get the proof? That's going to be a hard thing to do.
Nobody can right now.
No one can. With the virus going on, so we got to figure out a way to get in there.
So
and see if there's people being misheard.
Hold on, guys. Glenn, go ahead. Can't hear you.
Glenn, you're muted.
Glenn, you don't have any sound. Yeah, still no sound.
Can't hear you, Glenn.
Going in and out.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There are some cops, you know, you can give right respect, and they treat you right, but there's someone who can be a real asshole about. I know here in Louisiana, I can talk to someone and give them right respect and get right response. But there's I had one cop gave me bad response.
Okay. All right, Brody.
Okay, Carolina.
Oh, okay, Morgan.
Darling angel pet. Love of my life.
Love you still. You're still my friend.
Okay. The bottom line is this, bottom line is this, sweetheart. Okay. You can't go in and demand things in the current climate. All right.
Right.
Okay. You didn't have any reason to be there. They don't want visitors at the moment due to COVID. You walked in and demanded to see the roster, but you had nobody you wanted to see if they were in there. You talked about somebody who hasn't been arraigned. Well, that's not the jail's problem. That's where they're sent to be looked after until they come up. So, you know, yelling and screaming. You had the smoking thing. They were 20 feet away from the entrance. Okay, so there you go again. You were wrong on that one as well. So let's get something straight. You also had the head of the facility there. And if you'd have spoken to him civilly, you probably would have gotten a lot further than where you got. But you're accusing them of hiding stuff. They're not hiding stuff. You can, as he said, you can get it online at the moment due to the fact of the COVID. They are not having visitors, and you're accusing them. If you seriously want to do something about it, if you seriously want to go in and have a look at the facilities, then you get a prison coordinator or a prisoner's advocate to go in with them and arrange to go in with them so that you can see what the facilities are like. You just don't go in and demand because you're not going to get. You have no credentials. You have no credibility. You're just a crazy middle class girl with a camera. You're just a crazy middle class bird with a camera and a Mustang. That's it. They're not going to take you seriously. There are ways of doing things, and the way you're doing it just isn't the way it's going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't want to just walk out and say no and just be okay, thanks guys, and walk away. I wanted them to know that I was coming back. I did want to cause a ruckus. I really did.
Yeah, but it's not going to get you anywhere. See, even the puppies agree.
That's weird.
All right. So that was the first one. Let's take a look at another one.
Come here. Come here.
Can you let Rocky have an opinion?
Oh yeah, Rocky. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rocky. What's your opinion? Sorry about that.
I'm just going to keep my opinion at the moment. But I think it's pretty much the points have been made. I didn't get to see all the videos.
Thank you, Rocky.
But for the time being, yeah.
All right. So here's the second one. This is, I'm assuming it's a cop watch.
Oh, this one. Oh gosh, this one is too windy. You can't show this. You can show it, but it's too windy. It was yeah, it was a cop watch where they're searching someone's car, but you won't be able to hear anything. That's the problem on this one.
Oh.
That's before I got my microphone.
We'll pick a different one.
Oh.
Your audio better, Glenn? Trying to find a cop watch.
A cop watch. There's one I just.
Let's see. Maybe
I just did one the other day. The first one there, that little man. I just did him. Oh, that one. That first one was kind of creepy. That where the little spacesuits guys are walking out. Get the one that I just did. Oh wait, here we go. How about? Oh, that was fun. That one's funny. Do the busted one. That's funny. Do busted. Is that busted?
No.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember this one. Oh yeah, I remember this one.
You might be one of those people that. Oh, there's another one right there. Oh Lord. Okay, what do I do?
I always get so happy when I find one.
That's on the road. Would I have to catch up to him really that hard, or do I do the one at the gas station? I guess I have to do the one at the gas station because that one's already gone. 2 cars in front of me. Okay, so he's right up here at the Shell station. I don't know if y'all can see that. He's right at the Shell station. I don't know if it's the same one. I'll have to look at the number on the back of his car, but I don't know if he's doing rounds or if he's getting gas, but he's just sitting there. Right, see him there? He's right there, just sitting there. Hopefully I can get across there before he gets into the vehicle and drives off. Unless it's just a deterrent vehicle, which I hate that they do that. It's called a ghost car, where they put patrol cars at businesses and such to deter crime. But then again, if you're a crime victim and you run up to the car and it's nobody in it, and there's no computer and it's just an empty shell of a car, it's not screwed. So there's pros and cons to ghost cars. Okay. He's still sitting over there. This long light.
Kenny, Carl wants the link.
Oh, exclamation mark link.
Oh, gotta be careful driving around here. Someone would be speeding a car around.
All one word.
Let's get some gas.
No, I'm sorry. Exclamation mark panel.
Is it a ghost car or not? Is he inside the car or not? Yes, he's inside the car. Just saw some movement. Dude, look at the front of that car. It's all smashed. Oh, I can't turn that way. So I won't. Anyways, his front right fender's all beat up. I don't want to zoom in on it. So, let's see what he's going to do. Let's just see what he's going to do. I don't think this is the same one. I think it's a different number on the back. But there seems to be so many cops just all the time now, just running around doing nothing. It seems like they just hang out. It's like, who are they protecting? What are they doing? It seems like I just see them in cars sitting around. I think they have too many if they're just sitting around. So, hey, Al SoCal, how are you? Fair Shake, that's a nice name. One Hot Gal, be careful out there with people, One Hot Gal. He's trespassing. That's right. He's trespassing. Yes, Dimitri, he's trespassing. Blue Flyer, Chicagoland Cop Watch. How are you, Chicagoland? Ken Stewart's in here. Flat back tire cop car. Ooh, that does look really low, doesn't it? I actually have to get my tire replaced too. Yeah, it does look kind of low, doesn't it? It does. Hey, Miranda. How are you and Roger today? Bob. Oh, yeah, a charger. I lose chargers in courts all the time, then I find them, then I lose them, then I find them, then I lose them. Oh, okay. They're waiting for the big one to go down. 12 officers for a light bulb. That's right. Turn the ear on a little bit just so the car doesn't get hot. I've got all the other programs down. I took them all down. See, he's inside there. He's inside there. He's loitering, that's right. I mean, he is he just there waiting for a call? Like, he's in there. I can see him. I see movement. Can y'all see movement? I see movement. You can't see movement. I can see movement. Try to myself a little bit better here. Okay, now you can probably see movement. I can see the movement. I don't know what he's doing. He's moving. I wonder if they look around to see if anybody's following them. I always look around for cops. I hope I can get out quick if it takes off. Maybe I should move somewhere where I can take off quicker. Maybe I should. Loitering is correct because he has no business there. That's right, Chuck Derby. Oh, no justice wants to do the driving on a cop watch. Okay. Coral says he. Robert Collins, hiya. This is Wendy O. America's Auditor. Hey, Peanut, I hope you're having a good afternoon. Oh, he's waving at me. Did y'all see that? He waved at me. He did. He waved. Did y'all see that? He waved at me. Oh, I'm made. Did y'all see it? Wait, see him? See him waving at me? Damn it. What the hell? Should I just go talk to him now? He waved at me. Did y'all see it? Ah! Did y'all see him wave at me? Did y'all see it? Ah, Lord. He waved at me. He's going to come over and talk to me. Oh, no, he's not. Yeah, he is. He's going to come over and talk to me. It's my two favorite guys. How y'all doing? Yeah? Yeah, let me get y'all.
I was just watching your YouTube.
I know, you were watching me?
Yeah, we're watching you live.
Oh, I was waiting to see what y'all were going to do. Where's the action at today?
Oh, we just did some action.
I missed
came
it.
up something.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do a report. Stay out of the heat. Yep.
Y'all are so young.
So, oh yeah.
Well, I guess where should I go then to get some action? Should I go to Arlington today?
Probably, because right now, there ain't too much, knock on wood.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Oh, we saw you sitting over here.
I know. I can't believe y'all made me.
So we figured we'd come
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Have a good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Bye. Okay, so I guess we're going to Arlington. Oh, Lord, we're going to Arlington. That was crazy, huh? Okay. Here we go. Yeah, they do pay for doing YouTube, watching YouTube. All right, we're gonna go. They were so young. They look like they were in their 20s. Okay. Make sure my lip anchor's on. All right. All right. That was
That's
too
actually the end
funny.
of that one. I
I
actually
guess we're
have a
going
good
to
rapport with
Arlington,
a lot of them.
guys. We're going to Arlington. Oh, Carl.
Okay, that's probably about it. I'm assuming that's the only cop.
Yeah, that was it.
All right. So my initial opinion was like, I thought you had a good rapport with the two officers. The only thing I think is, the thing is, if they're just sitting there, maybe they're doing the report. You know, they could be, maybe they're taking a break or something like that. I mean,
Yeah, they are. See, what I have to do is I don't have scanners because they encrypted them in Fort Worth. So the only way you can do cop watches is if you pick one up as they're going to a call, or if you find them on the side of the road already with the cherries and berries on. So what I do is a lot of times I have to follow them just to see if they're going on a call or not. So that was what I was doing. I was going to wait for them to take off and go on a call. But one time I followed the guy for 4 hours. Nothing happened. 4 hours. I wasn't going to give up. But so they don't have the scanners in Fort Worth. I wish they did.
yeah. So, but I thought that was pretty good. It shows that you weren't rude to the cops. You had a good rapport with them. You know, it seems like if they were to jump off, they would, you know, be more willing to give you maybe some inside information about something. See, now you see how maybe in the previous video, being a little, instead of going all rogue commando like you did at the end of that first video, maybe you could have got a little bit further with that, you know, better attitude in the first video, like in the second video.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
That's the only thing I see.
I have a good rapport with these guys on the south side. Like they feed me tips and information, and sometimes they'll come over afterwards and tell me what's up, and they'll say, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while." So I have a really good rapport with these guys on the south side. They're really nice to me. So especially there's a couple other ones that have like straw hats on. They had different hats than what the other guys were. But anyways, yeah, I've got they know me by name now, and they really are really cool with me, and they feed me all kinds of information. But not the ones on the north side or the east side, but these guys do. And you can tell that this group of guys, they work together so well. I mean, you can tell by the way they synchronize and the way they get along so well with each other. And it's a really good group. I wish all of them would act like this Southside group, because you can tell that they have that they like coming to work, that they enjoy what they're doing, that they, you know, they've got each other's backs. They always seem to be all synchronized. It's pretty cool how they work together. They don't seem to have any friction.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Lavender, what did you think?
No comment.
Okay. Josiah, what do you think?
You pulled in the gas station, sat there at a pump, and didn't even purchase gas.
No. I was waiting for them to take off so I could follow them.
That's all.
Yeah, I did. I took up a space.
Carl?
Well, mature.
Okay. Rocky?
Leading up to the time that they came to the window, you had a completely different demeanor. It's very degrading. I've personally been followed a lot, and to me, any officer that's being followed, they're probably just laughing at you. You seem more like a heckler to a comedian to me. I mean, I really don't get what you're trying to do here. There's a million reasons why an officer may be sitting somewhere, and there's nothing wrong with any of those reasons.
They got a lot. They doing a report or just hanging out, doing lunch. Yeah, I agree with that.
But you seem to have a problem with that before they approached you. You repeated it a couple of dozen times at least.
Well, they can only move if they have a call, right? So I don't.
No.
Oh.
No, I mean, they may be doing their reports. I mean, there's dozens of reasons why they can be sitting there. There's nothing wrong with any of them. You know, I heard a comedian one time. He was being heckled, and so he heckled the heckler back. He said, "I don't come down to the bus station where you're working and knock the dick out of your mouth while you're trying to work."
No, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with them sitting. I just have to wait for them to take off so I can get.
It sounds like you see something wrong with it.
I'd rather them be
Or
going.
you're just trying to find content.
Yeah, I was just. Well, what do you mean? Like I don't.
You're following people around. You're talking about.
Yeah, I do. I follow people around. I do follow them around first, so I can get a cop watching in. Yeah, I do that. because they don't have scanners here.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. I'm saying you had a totally different demeanor. They come up to you to talk, then you talk all different. You've got a different attitude.
Well, I knew who they were when they came up. They were the Southside people, so the
Doesn't
cowboy
matter
hat
who
guy.
they are. They're police. They're doing their job. What the hell are you thinking?
Okay,
You think your job's not hard enough without you having to follow people around and make it more difficult?
Well, they feed me information now, with
Some
so
do, some don't.
some do, some don't. Right.
Okay, Morty.
You really have to get a new car because they can see you from a mile away.
I know. When I had my little rental car, they didn't see me at all.
Yeah, no. I think you've done your dash with these people, Carolina. They all know who you are, and they spot you from a mile off. So you know you.
Well, especially with those license plate readers they have now
sweet,
too.
sweetie. So your cop watching is basically mute because they already know you're there.
Yeah.
CFW, I have a question for you, if I may.
Okay.
I was just curious.
You have a Yankee hat on?
Yeah, I'm Asian. Hi, how are you?
You have a Yankee hat on?
I do.
Oh, okay. I like Aaron Judge. He's the best.
Oh, okay, thanks.
They lost that game.
Yeah, there's always next year.
Yeah.
I was just curious. How long have you been auditing?
Oh, just not very long. A couple of years.
In the couple of years, I'm just curious. Were you able to make any impact and change any laws or regulations or anything like that?
No, I'm focusing mainly on just bringing awareness right now.
Gotcha. One more question, and maybe this is towards the panel, Kenny, if I may. It's about defunding the police. I was just curious about the panel's opinions on this, and I just wanted to ask the leading question first. Does the panel believe that body cams are helpful or hurtful?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Now, okay, I want to get into that, but let's finish everyone's opinion on the video first, and then we'll jump in that. So this just doesn't get lost in the shuffle. That's all.
Yeah, 10-4,
so,
Kenny.
Morgie, go ahead. What's your opinion on it? Oh, Morgie already said Gary.
I pretty well agree with what Rocky was saying. You don't really understand. Well, you don't know why the police were sitting there. They could have been filling out a report. They might have been looking for a suspicious character who's been running around the neighborhood. And why they were sitting there, well, they're just doing their job. But I will have to commend you on one aspect of it. You did have a good rapport with the two cops, but that's only because you knew them. If you didn't know them, you would have probably laid into them.
That's a good point. Or possibly. Glenn.
Yeah, well, that is a good question. It all depends. I think they should defund the police to a certain extent because simple fact, get them to realize, hey, we need to get rid of the bad cop. Let's keep the good cop.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get to that in a minute here, Glenn, but the question is, what do you think about the cop watch we just watched?
Yeah, I say that, that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, Asian, what about you?
The one we just saw?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't really have too much. It didn't seem like there was too much action. It was just, yeah, so I'm not sure if I have any opinions about it. It just seemed like CFW was, I don't know, just the cops noticed her and they came out and spoke to her like if they knew her already. So,
okay. All right, so on to your question now about defund the police. I can probably guess everyone here doesn't want to defund the police, I would assume. But let's go ahead and take Lavender. What do you think? Defund the police, yeah or nay?
No. Restructure where the money is allocated, but
agreed.
No.
Josiah.
I agree with Lavender.
Okay. CFW. You're muted, CFW.
Restructure, not defund, but defunding means restructure, doesn't it? Basically, so just restructure, move the money around a little bit differently.
Okay. Gary.
No.
No defund.
No defund, no.
Morgie.
I agree. Restructure. There needs to be a new approach in how policing's done.
Yes, that's right.
If you're talking, you're muted, Rocky.
All right, I'm sorry, I lost audio for a second. I don't think that anything should be defunded. I think that's going to cause more problems than it could ever help, especially with like I was talking about to Rolando the other day about the new technology that everybody's getting.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna mess that up, which is actually going to produce negative results.
Okay. Carl.
No.
Okay. Glenn. Oh, Glenn already said. Right. Adrian, what do you think?
I actually think more money needs to be put into law enforcement, quite frankly. And the reason why I say that is the static in the background coming from me.
I'm not sure who it's coming from.
Okay.
But someone's got the show. Someone's watching the show.
Yeah. So I don't know if the panel heard me, but I think we need to put more money into law enforcement. And the reason why I say that is twofold. I use the example of body cams, and I use the example of tasers, and basically shotguns. The shotgun, I don't know the right terminology, but there's some shotguns that shoot like bean bags or like pellets and stuff.
Less lethal.
Right, less lethal. So the fact of the matter is that not every police officer in this country that's out in the field have either a body cam or a taser or one of those shotguns in the back of their trunk or all of the above. And the reason why I say that is when we look at these traffic stops that are unfortunate, where it ends with death, you know, I say to myself, wow, if the officer actually had a body cam and a taser, which is less lethal, instead of being forced to choose the only option, which is their service gun, I think there'd be less deaths in these types of traffic stops in this country. So I think police need more money so that they can afford to buy the equipment that they need to do their jobs. Because if you're a law officer and all you have is a service revolver and you get into an altercation to defend yourself, I mean, that's what you're going to use. But if you have a taser, which is less lethal, it could still get the job done without death being an equation.
I think, if you don't mind me saying so, I think you also need to get a lot more training for those kind of things to be used. You've also got to remember that more officers are killed on traffic stops than anywhere else. Domestic violence and traffic stops are the two biggest killers of police officers. So what you need to do is try and work out a new approach on how to approach a traffic stop. To be honest, if you're going to use less lethal, you've got to remember that those tasers don't always work as well.
Yeah, and I fundamentally agree with Morgie as well. It's not just one-sided, meaning it needs more training, better training, restructuring, all of the above. But when you ask the pure question of defunding the police, I tend to say that we should allocate more budget, because at the end of the day, cosmopolitans need to go to school anywhere from 2 to 4 years to get a hair degree to cut someone's hair, quite frankly. Yet police officers have an average of 6 months training.
Now listen, I'm going to debunk that. Okay, now I'm fed up of hearing this. A police officer does 6 months of basic training at the academy. The rest of his career, he learns on it's on the job learning, and they go back on a regular basis to do training. Maybe they need to go back on a regular basis to do training. And this is what the whole thing is about restructuring. It's looking at where the training is failing. It's looking at where training needs to be changed or whatever it is. But you know, this it only takes 6 months. It doesn't. It's a lifetime of learning. Because for the simple reason that you don't learn, you're dead. Especially in the US.
Well, I mean, experience in itself is lifetime learning, Morgie. But that wasn't my point. My point was more formal training, not experience on the job, like learn while you're working. I'm talking about formal training, didactic training, where you're in a classroom and an instructor is training you didactically. right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about life experience. Get out on the street,
No,
have
no,
some
I'm no,
experience.
no,
to
hang
learn
on, hang
from.
on. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Okay, they do the 6 months worth of. It's like being in the military. You do your 6 months worth of basic training. That's a basic training. You learn the laws. You go out. You then go out for a year as a probationary constable, or a train with the training officer, or whatever it is. Okay, so whatever you call it over there. So you're a probationary constable for a certain amount of time. That teaches you more stuff. It's an on the job learning as a police officer. Okay. Now what you need to do, okay, they have colleges. They do have colleges. If you want to, and I think this is where the restructuring needs to be done. If you want to, you have specialized officers so that they can go to college and get degrees in social sciences, in certain areas, in psychology. If that's what you mean, yep, fair enough. I mean, over here, that they have to actually have a degree before they become an officer.
I'd like to say something. I gotta go. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, have a good one.
Okay,
All right,
Glenn.
Glenn.
We'll
See you later.
All right.
Bye,
Y'all be
Glenn.
careful.
You too.
You too.
All right, so
I guess just to rephrase myself, and again, I think I understand what Morgie's saying. What I'm saying though is that I don't think 6-month formal training before you get a badge and a gun is enough. That's what I mean. Maybe we need to lengthen the 6 months. I don't know, but that's the perspective I'm coming from. I agree with everything else Morgie's saying, obviously.
I agree with you, Asian, and I agree with Morgie, but I will put a but in there. No matter how long or how well trained you are as an officer, whether you're 2 years into your job or 20 years into your job, when you approach a vehicle, it's a split-second decision. And all your knowledge doesn't change that immediate response.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying about, you know, there needs to be some kind of retraining on how to do a traffic stop, because traffic stops are the biggest killer, the most dangerous part of a police officer's job. That and domestic violence, because you don't know what the biggest point is. Look, the biggest point is here is you don't know what the situation is that you're walking into. Okay.
Yes.
So it's on observation. A lot of it's on observation. You come up behind a car, you have to work out what that person is doing. Are they fidgeting? Are they doing something? Are they reaching for something? What are they doing? You know, it's all that kind of stuff. Does the car come back? You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Does the car come back as stolen? Is the rego is the rego current, etc., etc. You know, there's all that stuff. Where are we parked? What's happening around me? Is what side do I need to approach? What's, you know, there's all this kind of stuff. So you know, how do you restructure it? Sorry.
And
Oh,
all
somebody's
this,
kid. Sorry, go ahead.
all this training that you guys are speaking about, this is pretty much what I do these days. And every time any agency gets new equipment, there's training that goes along with that. But there's also classes that officers are required to take every year, which I'm also involved in a lot of that too. But as I said, defunding is going to take a lot of that away. It's going to actually slow this down. But yeah, it never stops. It's constantly evolving. It's evolving right now. The areas that I work in they're constantly changing the training program, and even making officers go back and retrain certain. We've been doing a lot of officer survival training lately, and it's because of the new atmosphere we have.
Yeah.
Rocky, can I ask how many courses do you think an officer has to be reaccredited every year?
It depends on where you're at. Typically, it's a minimum of 3.
So there's three separate courses that you have to be reaccredited. I'm gathering half of that is firearms training as well. Is that correct?
It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of different things, and I don't know any agency that just does 3. Where I work anyway, it's a constant thing until the money runs out at the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah,
that's exactly my point. You need money. You need more money to do this.
Yeah, and as long as the money's there, they're
I
going to
was in
constantly be pulling officers in for training.
I was in
You
training
also,
my last 7 years at the department. We
yeah.
trained
You also,
every year.
sorry.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Go ahead. No, sorry. I was speaking over you. I didn't realize that you were speaking. I do apologize. Please go ahead.
We trained at least 3 new academies every year, along with the 800 employees at our department, 40 hours in service, plus yearly mandated firearms training. And every year we would come up with different shooting scenarios. We would practice. We had simunitions guns. Somebody's TV is
Yeah, somebody can turn
really
the TV
loud.
down.
That's a scanner.
Yeah, War Eagle Kid is okay. It's off now.
Whew.
We got it.
There's always conventions. We used to go every year to a training convention in Chicago, which was like 2 weeks long, where we would get more information on new classes, new equipment, and everything. But you got to bring it back to the people that have the money that tell you where to spend it. So, no matter how hard the instructors try to get new training because they believe it's needed.
Somebody turn the YouTube chat down because we're getting echo.
Because it ultimately comes down to the people that control the money, which those people normally don't understand what's actually happening out on the streets anymore, because they've been command staff for the last 15 years.
You make the best point there. Is the problem is that management is usually in management for far too long, and they actually lose the perspective of what's happening out on the street. And there needs to be more dialogue between frontline officers and management, so that these courses actually reflect what's happening out on the street and how to handle it.
Now, I agree. No, I agree with all of you guys on the fact that no, we shouldn't defund. I do think they should get a little bit more money, but I'm going to go a little step further. I'm going to say not only do they need their funds to be reallocated to the police departments, I think we need overhaul of the criminal justice system as a whole. Not just stop at the police, the whole criminal justice system. It's all messed up, and we need to fix it. I mean, it hasn't been tweaked in so long. We've just been that's the thing with America. We write something until it's broken, and we don't want the criminal justice system to completely break before we think about fixing it. We need to fix it before the train falls off the track. At least that's my opinion.
I agree with that, Kenny. And I think the other factor, here's an interesting stat. I'm big on statistics. The average lifespan of a police officer in this country, 57 years of age.
Oh, wow.
Let me repeat that. The average lifespan of a police officer in this country, statistically, 57 years old. There's reasons behind that. These people see people dying, committing suicide. They see death, right? In New York City, the average lifespan of a retired police officer is 7 years after retirement. They pass away 7 years on average after retirement. A lot of them become alcoholics, drug addicts after the fact. Why is that? So the question I ask is not just the physical training, the guns training, but what about the psychological training? What about an officer who's been out on the field for 5 years? Do they get psychological training after 5 years?
There is a what do you call that? Psychologist
Mental health
available if they need it. They get 3 sessions free, and then they have to pay their copay to continue to see that psychologist or whatever. But yes, after a after they discharge their weapon, it's a mandated 3 sessions.
That's right. That's right.
To, you know, check their mental status to make sure that they're okay to go back to work. And in our department, they are allowed to take normally as much time as they need to collect themselves. Now, I've
That's
seen
right.
some of them go right back to the street, and I've seen others say, nope, I can't, and go to administration.
No, very good, Lavender. And the point that I'm trying to make here is you need more
I'm
money,
sorry.
right? So my original question was, do you defund the police?
No.
You need more money.
I was looking at a friend of mine who was a commander in the federal police, and he's a very big advocate on police mental health. If an officer has done 20 years, if a person is in a job for 20 years, on average, they have 2 major mental health crises a year. A police officer with 20 years has over 800. So think about that.
And on a positive note here, policing has changed immensely in the last 30 years. It has stepped up leaps and bounds from what it was 30 years ago. The officers are better educated, and that is the way it has to be. I mean, but just stop and look. 30 years ago, policing was totally different than it is today. So it is going forward, and it will take time and money.
And I think there needs to be more community policing as well. I think we've lost that kind of interaction with police that communities used to have, where you used to have the beat cops, where you used to be able to see the cops walking down the street in their communities, and they kind of knew each other and stuff like that. I think you could have an interaction, and the cop wasn't your friend, but you knew you could go to him if something happened. I think we kind of need to go back to that kind of thing, because I think it's become one of the biggest problems is it's us and them. And when you get that attitude, it's very, very difficult to sort of reverse it. So we've got to kind of come back into the community, so where there is trust and stuff like that, where there's rapport with the community.
Well, as the generations have. Go ahead.
Lavender.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, and the general consensus that if they defund the police, that all of a sudden that it's gonna stop all this racial injustice that's going on. Which no, that's not gonna do anything. They're still gonna have the same hiring practices. They're still gonna have nothing's gonna change. A little bit lower money, and maybe there won't be as much police officers, but you're not changing, how they're trained, how they, approach certain situations. You're not getting to the grassroots problem of why there's so much issues with the police force. You're just shrinking their budget. That's not going to change anything. I don't understand how they think that's going to help fix anything.
If anything, I think it's going to make it worse.
Yeah.
It will make it worse. And a lot of this also has to do with community. I've always spent my spare time volunteering with everything I could in the community. But you're starting to see a society that just hates police. And it doesn't matter good or bad, they just hate them. And it's creating a problem.
And that's where it's got to stop. That's why you've got to get people back onto the more community interaction between police and the community. But the thing is with the defunding, the restructuring, you've got to look at your recruiting practices. You've got to look at your training practices. You've got to look at, if you're going to be a community copper, and then you've got to find out what the community needs in order to put the right coppers in the area. Do you understand what I mean? It's an ongoing process. It's not going to fix itself overnight. But these are the things that you're going to need to look at.
Yeah, it's going to have to be two-sided. I mean, you can't have the police suddenly saying,
Always.
okay, we're going to do all the community work in the world and it's going to fix everything. You got to have the community that's willing to get behind the police.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of barriers that are going to have to come down. So, you know, the police are going to have to start getting back into the community. I think they've spent far too much time in their cars and stuff like that these days. They're not in the community, so and I think that's where the disconnect has come from. Is there's no disconnect in the UK. At one stage, they used to have a police station, usually one or two officers in all the housing developments that they had there. So they even had their own police stations on housing developments. So if the community had a problem, they could go down there and say, okay, we've got a problem. I think these people are dealing drugs out of this apartment, and they could go and fix it before anything started to happen. It used to stop gang activity and stuff like that. And so you know, there's all kinds of things. And if you get a rapport with, you know, you get a rapport with a number of officers working that community. The thing is also that in order to stop corruption, you need to rotate those officers between different areas of the community. I think there's, if you want to talk about the corruption part of it as well, there needs to be a kind of a rotation. So you might do 6 months in this area, another 6 months in that area, another 6 months in that district, if you understand what I mean.
Our climate today is of hatred for the police is media driven. The media is responsible for a lot of the divide.
It's not just the media, the politicians have done a fucking good job on that as well.
But the media pushes it more than the politicians do. I live in a community where the central community that I live in, the borough that I live in, we have 11 police officers. And those 11 police officers have to patrol all 5 surrounding areas of the borough. So, I mean, it's such a vast territory. You know, when you have 11 police officers and everybody knows them because they're born and raised there. We know their mothers, their fathers, their grandmothers. We know where they went to school, who their wives are. I mean, we know them, but it's a small community. But they're policing such a large area. When you have to police the borough plus 5 townships around that borough, and the only assistance you get is from the state police.
Yeah, and I would like to take that a little step further too, with the media being the issue. That's why a lot of these auditing videos are so dangerous, because the more people see that, the disrespect that's allowed, and you do have an amendment, First Amendment, to do that, but you don't have the obligation to do that. And the more you do, the more this is going on, and the more people are seeing this, the more it becomes a trend.
That's right.
And you look and you look at what's happened with the lockdowns, with the COVID, and you have the perfect storm. People are bored. They find these things. Oh, it's all the cops' fault. It's not the cops' fault. You know, it's not the cops' fault. That's the thing. It's a myriad. It's a number of things that all add up together, and the cops are the ones that take the brunt for it. Yes, there are. Yes, policing does need to be reformed. Nobody's recruiting that. Everybody's been saying that for a long time, but the problem is you need actually people who are willing to do it.
Yeah.
So you've got that as well. But you know, it's a number of factions, and one of the things that have driven this is all these videos that we have seen on social media that have individual bias. Because I hate police officers because I'm an ex-felon and I don't like what they did to me. Because I can't take responsibility for my own actions. So I'm going to take it out on the cops.
Well said.
Well said.
Yep.
So you've got people out there pushing their own bias agenda.
That's right. That's right. Morgie, spot on,
But
Morgie.
that is true. But also, you got to look at it's also works on the opposite field. There's people that are just so pro police that they don't see a police officer doing anything wrong. They're pushing that narrative that there is no bad police. When most of us know that that's
agree.
not
Yeah,
true as well.
I agree with that. But anybody with half a brain knows that that's not true.
True.
It's like any. You know, you've got bad people in every service.
Absolutely.
Every company, every you know, it's not just endemic. But the problem is that the bias is being pushed towards police, and the reason that is being done is because if you have a look at basically a large amount, have a look at how much the right wing in America has grown, the far right wing in America has grown in just the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Your anti-government lot. So your anti-government lot have been pushing it. And the problem is with the auditors, they're basically they're the bottom of the rung. They really are. But they start this radicalization process.
Can I say something?
Just hang on. Just hang on. They start the radicalization problem with these videos. Okay. They're not changing anything except to make the rules worse, and then they go out and bitch about it because they're the ones that once again they don't accept responsibility for it, and then your radicalization goes from that. So it goes from watching these videos and a couple of these idiots going out and trying to do the same thing and mouthing off at a cop because he got pulled over for doing 10 miles over the limit or something. So he mouths off at him. So then he starts. So then they move on to a slightly more radical website or forum or whatever it is, and it goes on and on from there. And you know, there's a lot of these people who have gone into these you know, neo-Nazi movements, these anti-government movements, the militia movements that have all started watching these small little community things. I mean, you know, you wonder how much damage Josh has done by mouthing off at cops the way he does.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of money that is wasted with you people because you don't know the law. You don't know how it's applied. You think you're right and you're not right. That's the whole problem. You don't know the Constitution. You don't know how it's applied. You cherry pick things.
Don't lump everybody into that. I don't think it's people that are making the videos that are causing this problem with the people being rude to police and people being disenfranchised with the police. And I don't think it's the video people, because you can walk out and ask 10 people, do you know Josh Abrams? Nobody can tell you. He's not nothing. He's nothing. And these videos don't reach the mega amount of people that you think they do. What reaches the mega amount of people is the mainstream news, where you got the Floyd guy with the knee on the neck. You have the Milwaukee cops beating up the Sterling, whatever his name was, from the Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. The mainstream media is what's causing all this. And plus, people are understanding and learning their rights now because of the internet, but it's not the people making the videos.
But they're not learning
that are
their
causing
rights,
the people
Carolina. That's the whole problem. You keep telling them that they're learning their rights, they're exercising their rights. The problem is you don't know your rights correctly, and you're giving out misinformation. You lot are as big a misinformation as mainstream media is.
I don't think
Well,
I
you
am
are,
personally,
because half of the video they just showed at the jail shows that you put out misinformation. Yes, you did.
I didn't put out
You put out misinformation. You put out a lot of misinformation. Yes, you
I
did.
did not.
Yes,
I did
you
not.
did.
I stand by it.
You made assumptions about things.
You don't even know because you didn't look up the laws. I have the laws.
But you don't know how it's applied. You don't have the rest of the stuff that goes along with it. You don't have to have how the facilities are run. You don't have the personnel. You don't have what the personnel policies are. You don't have any of that stuff. You don't know how the law is run. And they told you to your face that there is no visitors for COVID at this point in time. Okay?
So what? What does that have to do with me putting out misinformation?
Because you're standing there yelling and screaming that I need this, I need that, I need this. And they said, due to the fact that we have COVID at the moment, you can get that information online because we are not accepting visitors.
It's not online, Morgie. It's not available
Well,
online.
put in a
That's why I
FOIA or
walked in to
whatever it
get
is you need to do. But,
I
okay,
did that.
well then wait for it.
I don't know how I spread misinformation, but anyway, what I'm saying, it's not the people that are making these videos that are
It's
causing the
part
people to be
of
rude
it.
to the
It's
police.
part of a bigger picture.
Small part.
Okay, it's part of the bigger
Small
picture.
part. Do you know who's bringing attention? Do you know what's bringing the most attention to everybody in the United States? It's the bad behavior of the police officers caught on tape and put on
Which is
mainstream
a very small
news.
amount of officers. And the problem is, and the biggest problem is, okay, the biggest problem is your bias that you put forward to those police officers. The majority of the officers in your videos are doing nothing wrong. Shut up. Just shut up. Okay? Because I'm going to sound off on this. The majority of the cops show the professionalism that they have. It's your bias under that is that undermines police. Okay? They have done nothing wrong. They are acting professionally. The cops, you are the ones that are assuming things. You are the ones who do not know the laws. You are the ones that that are pushing it because you want content. They are not doing anything wrong. They are doing their jobs, and you are making the jobs harder. And you are causing. Let me tell you what goes on. How this actually works. Okay, you idiots go out there. Sorry, I'll take that back. You guys go out there. You cause a ruckus. You waste officers' time. You go, oh, well, why aren't you going out? Why aren't you going out and catching real crooks? Because we're stuck with you with your big fat fucking mouth mouthing off about things you've got no fucking idea about in the car because you won't give me ID on a truck on a traffic stop. Pims versus Penn. They can ask you for your ID, and then you go into this spiel. Well, I don't have to give you ID. I don't. It's against my fourth. No, I'm just saying generally. I'm saying generally. Okay. This is generalization. It's not just you. Okay. I'm not having a go at you. I'm saying this is a generalization. I don't have to give you ID. It's against my Fourth Amendment right. I have my Fifth Amendment right. You don't know how these laws are applied. On a traffic stop, you have to provide your driver's license, your registration, and your insurance. That's all you have to do, and you hand it over. You don't have to give, and you don't even have to say anything to the police officer. Well, that's all you have to do is hand it over. All done within 5 minutes or so. You're not incriminating yourself. You're not doing anything like that. You're just giving them the details so they can have a look. And all you have, and this mouthing off, and yet, you've held an officer up for over 20 minutes to 30 minutes or something like that. And they could have been actually getting somebody else who's really breaking the law. They're arguing with somebody like you. The drug smuggler just went down the road that they've been looking for the last three days. Do you understand? You are actually pulling police away from their duties. You are costing the taxpayer money. You are costing yourself money. You then your rates go up. Your local taxes go up because they have to start funding people like that. This is what you are doing. You are giving people the wrong information, and you are causing you are causing a divide yourself. All right? By doing this, because you don't understand how the law works. You're going out there with a bias. You think that this is fun. It's content. It's clicks and views. It's money. And in the meantime, the people that they should be going after have just gone down the road with a boot full of cocaine. Okay.
Hey, I have a degree in criminal justice, just so you know.
Sweetheart, I have 2 master's degrees. Okay, so please don't tell me what you have.
But you're lumping me into this group. You're lumping me into this group of people that don't know, and I
no,
do
you
know,
don't.
So...
You just proved it. You just proved it. You've proved it on numerous times. How many arguments have we had on this?
All right, guys.
All
right, guys. So, All right, so you guys are just sort of arguing now. So I'm gonna butt in here, and I want to go back to the media thing, the media bias. CFW, I think you got it right on when you're talking about it is the media that is pumping this out. Now the media, what they're doing is they're seeing a cop shooting, right? And instead of waiting to get all the information out there, what are they doing? They're just putting it out there, and they're spinning it to where, oh my God, another cop shoots another unarmed black man or a Latino man or whatever it is, right? And then the country gets in this big uproar, and then weeks later you come to find out, well, there was a reason. The guy was running. The guy decided to wrestle two cops, and if I'm gonna be honest, in this situation, if I was with two cops, I would have been a little felt a little stupid for letting one guy wrestle my taser away from me, and this guy gets shot, right? But and this now to be fair, in this situation, that information was put out, but everyone kept saying, "Oh my God, the cops are just killing people." It's like, no, the dude freaking ran from them, took a cop's taser, and was gonna shoot a cop. I mean, the media is putting this shit out there and putting this spin on it that is not the right spin, and they're really adding to this hysteria that's just going on in just in our country. Now my question is, how do we stop this without really affecting free speech? What do you think, Lavender?
What?
You weren't listening, were you?
No, I was zoned out. Sorry.
I'm just talking about how
the media and
the media is like putting this negative spin on police shootings and just any kind of police activity. How do we change this without affecting free speech?
The question is, how do you stop the misinformation on social media where it comes from in the first place?
Too, but how do you do all that without affecting the free speech?
No one's that powerful.
mainstream media is just, they're gonna cover just like the YouTube channels that are out for clicks and views. They're gonna cover what gets them viewers. And that is causing a big fuss over these things instead of showing him, tying that little kid's shoe, because that's boring. No one cares. They want to see shoot 'em up, bang, bang. That's what gets them views on media. Therefore, all they're showing is the bad stuff.
It's called, I look at it as mental fitness. Like anything in life, I'm not going to just believe someone off the cuff. I'm going to go do my own, homework, my own research, my own investigation before I conclude on any opinion, on any circumstance. And that's just the way it should be. Just because media calls out certain things doesn't mean you should always align to it. You should go back channel it, cross-reference it, research it before you believe anything. I mean, it's just, I think it's logical. And that's why I also think it's just as much about mental fitness than it is physical fitness. Meaning, if you don't have the mental capacity to do this, like, some people shouldn't be here on YouTube, quite frankly. You need thick skin on YouTube.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
Or else you will drive yourself into the ground.
Absolutely.
People getting emotional on YouTube over people that they've never even met, getting their feelings hurt. Really? Right. We're on the internet, people. All you got to do is power down your laptop and it's over. Like, seriously? Like, it's all about mental fitness. And then the other thing I think about when we talk about things like this is the younger generation, the next generation of auditors. What are we doing to them? It's like the blind leading the blind, right? Like, NNE had anyway, I'm not going to bring up old news, but he has a 17-year-old in college that is interested in becoming an auditor. So he tunes into Brian's channel to learn about auditing strategies and tactics.
That's a horrible channel to learn auditing.
That's my point. That is exactly my point, Kenny, when I say the blind leading the blind. Like, really? Look, the whole notion is this. It's all about bridging the gap, not destroying it. And if your actions are not bridging the gap, just stop doing it. It's common sense. It's sort of like what Mama always taught us. If you don't have something nice to say, then don't say it at all. If there's no intent and value in what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. Period.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like we live in a country today where young people have this entitlement issue, and then they are raised with this enablement. People enable them to act in this manner and proceed in this manner. It's all generational. I mean, there are so many kids. Well, most of the people, I would say, and I'm saying most in air quotes, of the people who follow the Joshes and the Anselmos and, of this community are disenfranchised. They're in their mother's basement. They haven't ventured out into the world, and they have fallen into this trap of YouTube, which is a rabbit hole. And they hold these people in high esteem. Like, why? And I mean, they don't even look at their flaws. Why am I going to listen to a criminal tell me how I should act in society and towards, people in society, agencies, police, whatever? But these people are disenfranchised, living at home. They haven't experienced the world. And Asian is right. This community on YouTube, and now especially with these live panels, and I said a long time ago to A-Balance that these live panels were going to show the true personalities and colors of the people that are in this community. And they have. And you do need thick skin if you are going to participate in these live panels. Because, why are you getting upset? You don't know these people. And if you are that easily upset and hurt and cry because someone says you're an asshole, you're a retard, you're fucking stupid, you're a clown, those are only words. You're the one who reacts to that. No one can make you feel or do anything. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. And
that also goes back to, because I mean, think about when you think of actors, there's a statistic, actors come from broken homes. They're usually single. A lot of actors are single, and they usually have some sort of issue. At least that's some of the stereotypes on actors. Sometimes that happens. People who get into the YouTube community might have some of those same flaws. And just to go back to what you're talking about, how a lot of people who are missing something from their lives who are on YouTube, it doesn't necessarily always go that way. There's a lot of successful people that watch YouTube. They do it just for fun, but I think what you're meaning is the people that are on it every day, all day, go from stream to stream and just, live on it. I think that's who you're talking about. But I really honestly think that that's such a small, minute number of people that you're really referring to in the grand scheme of all of YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
Yeah, just want to.
But Asian is right. Asian is right. It's like you're mental. I mean, you have to be mentally, stable to deal with life in general.
Absolutely.
And YouTube is not real life.
Yeah, I mean, you're quite right, Josiah. And I mean, you put these little pieces of auditor videos along with, say, the misinformation channels that you've seen for Trump and stuff like that, the conspiracy theories. You move from auditors into the conspiracy theories that you hear them talking about. So you move into that realm as well. So then you've got your conspiracy theories and your QAnons and things like that. These conspiracy theories that warp your mind even more. So
Yeah,
you've got this little tiny window, and that's leading into bigger windows of disinformation. It's
Yeah.
propaganda. It's all propaganda in the long run. And the problem is that people do not understand how propaganda works. And this is how it's going. And we've seen it. You've just seen how it works.
Well, I mean, just all Kenny has to do is look out his window and see that there are people in the streets now protesting, a presidential race that has been announced and decided by the media.
Yep.
This is the first time, I'm 70 years old, this is the first time that the media has ever called a presidential race.
No,
that
that's
I
actually
can remember.
that's not true. The media's been doing that for quite a while.
Well, yeah, but I mean, not in this. This has been a very contentious race, and I live in a state. I live in Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden, like today, boom, Biden is in. So Biden won, but I mean, I don't think it's the news media's place to pronounce that until the votes are all counted and presented, and one or the other candidate concedes.
You know what? One thing we have to realize. Biden has the electoral votes to become the next president. So I just wish it's going to be a peaceful process, and we're not going to have all kinds of legal, cases going through the Supreme Court. Hopefully, everybody can just settle this and just move on.
Oh no, it's already going through the legal state. Judges already ruled in Pennsylvania that the votes that were counted that came in after the third all have to be counted separately, and they're not to be a part of the normal count. And so they're gonna have to go through all of those and make sure that people aren't voting twice. People actually live in the state. I mean, they're going through a lot, which makes sense. I mean, this is the first time we've had such a big vote like this with absentee ballots and late votes, early votes, and we weren't prepared for it, and this is what's happening now. We might not know our president until December. This is looking like.
Sorry. Can I just?
The thing is like they're counting all the votes that they can, and if we can't decide a president within the next couple of days, America's going to look like a fucking idiot in the international community.
Not necessarily. This happened in 2000 with Bush and Gore. It went to the Supreme Court. That's also going to happen. This is going to go to the Supreme Court, and Trump's either going to win it or he's going to lose it, and then he's going to have to decide what he does from there.
Here's the other technical factor, though, that people aren't calling out. You need 270 electoral votes to take the seat of the presidency. So depending on where Trump falls with his electoral votes, because right now I believe he's sitting on 214, he would need to identify the appropriate states that he wants to take recounts to the Supreme Court with that add or succeed 270 electoral votes, or the point is moot.
Well, what he has to do is he's going to have to take Wisconsin from Biden, and he's going to have to win Nevada.
Oh, he's got to take actually all of them right now, Kenny. So he's got to fight Pennsylvania. Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off, but he's got to fight Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, and Wisconsin. He's got to take 5 states to the Supreme Court, and he's got to win all 5 states to have enough electoral votes to hit that 270 mark, or the point is moot, is what I'm saying. In addition to that, it costs millions of dollars to do this. It's not cheap. So it's going to be interesting.
Listen. I think the United States will survive. We're not going to go down the drain. The United States is still the best country on the face of the planet. And we're just going to have to see. Joe Biden is probably going to be the next president. But now it's like, okay, you can talk the talk, can you walk the walk? It's either put up or shut up now. If you thought that not my president movement was, big before, you ain't seen nothing yet, because all them damn patriots are going to come out of the woodwork like an army of ants. So we're going to have to see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It is. But we won't know president until after the Supreme Court decides what they're going to decide and the recount. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I'm over it. Whoever wins at this point,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I look at it this way. Each one of them only has 4 years regardless. Joe Biden because of his age, Trump because, well, he can only serve 4 more years. Neither one of them is corrupt enough and stupid enough to fuck up the country in 4 years. So I say either one of them is okay by me at this point.
Well, it's the old thing. We don't vote for the right guy for the job. We vote for the lesser of the two assholes.
Indeed.
That was a saying that my father used to say, and it actually still rings true today.
Yeah,
we don't vote we don't vote for the best guy for the job. We vote for the lesser of the two assholes.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but your father was a very smart person, Chief. No doubt.
And
it's unfortunate, though.
It's like my friend Carolyn, she said, "Are you going to watch the debates?" And I said, why would I want to watch Dumb and Dumber debate? It's like, I know that Biden is a career politician, but then you have a businessman who will sue you to the ends of the earth, because that's what business people do. So, I mean, it's like, I wasn't going to watch, Dumb and Dumber debate nothing. I mean, I don't know. Did Biden put out an agenda that we can go to and see and follow? I don't believe he has.
Yes, he did. It's out on his website.
Well, but I mean, I'll say this: any president who is elected and serves, it's his staff, the people that surround him and provide him that information that are important, is what is important to running our government. Not his final decision, but it's the people who are around him, who are providing him the proper information. And so he gets to decide. But if he has strong people, good people, they can persuade him to do the right thing. And that's the only thing that has saved us with Trump, is because of the checks and balances that go along with the presidency and the number of people in the cabinet, from the armed forces, to the judiciary, to the legislature. I mean, they are the people that have helped and always will uphold this country and save us from, like Donald pushing the red button because he didn't like something that Kim Jong said about him today. Politics are local. If you live with local politics, you can survive. When you get to Washington, you have no control. We have no control.
That's right.
Okay, so let's get off the politics talk right now.
Who brought it up?
Let's I don't know who brought it up.
Watch something funny. Beaver did a video on Carolina. It is hysterical.
What?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It is hysterical.
Is he being mean and saying I need plastic surgery and all that kind of stuff?
No. It's go watch it. It's funny. It is hysterical. It is so you. It is so you.
I have to watch it. I don't know how to get to this channel. And I want you people to know that us people like me, we're not all like what you people think. Really
Agreed. No, absolutely. CFW. We don't put all the eggs in one basket. But just point of clarification for me is that just because I'm against defunding the police, but rather the contrary, which is give them more money, right? It doesn't mean that I'm not a 1A supporter, just to be clear, right? I just don't support certain 1A auditors because of everything we've been talking about today.
I'm just trying to bring awareness that, I mean, an idea that I've had to bring for less police, which was said for everybody's, why are we taking the police off the street and having them take police reports and do minor traffic accidents? Why don't we get different people to do that so they can stay on the street? Because that's where they're wasting a lot of time on minor traffic accidents, and someone else I could go take that report. Anybody could take that report, a business degree to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have to have guns either. They could just be the people that run over and take the police reports, do that kind of policing.
Because under the law, it becomes hearsay.
Guys, let it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just going to say, because then under the law, it becomes hearsay.
Well, my point is, okay, you ask what the police can't do. A lot of times, most jurisdictions around the country, especially in the United States, they have a certain budget, and they can't exceed that budget. And if you want them to have like all kinds of equipment and all kinds of intelligence and all kinds of computer power, the jurisdiction can't physically pay for that equipment. So they have to do their job with what they have, and that's the way it was. I graduated the police academy in 1993. I did 18 years on the road, and I'll tell you what, we didn't have tasers, we didn't have cameras, we didn't have computers in the car. We had to do everything by paperwork and absolute investigation. And a lot of people who have never been police officers, they don't understand how hard that is because, you have to enforce the law. That's what your job is. The government has hired us to do law enforcement, and that's what we're going to do. And a lot of people don't agree with a lot of the methods that we do it by, but that has to be what it is, because the law has to be enforced.
Right, but you know what? They're not enforced. This is my deal. Let them enforce the law, but that is people that hire other people in as the police officers leave, retire, etc., to do the work that's not enforcing the law, like the reports and the minor things, like the burglary reports, the car vandalism, things like that, and let the enforcers, the people that are enforcing the law, out on the street. They lose valuable time when they're sitting in somebody's kitchen table taking a burglary report from the little old lady who lost her cat or whatever. Just get maybe some different people not with guns. Just then you'd have less police, but they'd be out there doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is what we want them to do, is to stop crime.
Okay, but the thing is, you said the little old lady who lost her cat. Well, the little old lady didn't just lose her cat. She lost her big screen TV, her computer, and all that kind of stuff. And I'll tell you why. 98% of the burglaries in the United States are caused by meth, heroin, and crack addiction. And I'm going to tell you something. The police have to investigate every goddamn burglary because it's a felony, and a felony has to be investigated. It has to be adjudicated by a judge. And I'll tell you what, don't think that the little old lady who's missing her cat is more insignificant than anybody else, because it's still a burglary.
I'm not saying they're insignificant. I'm saying keep the police where they're needed and let somebody else do the other stuff that they don't need to be doing and take them off the street.
What she's saying is,
why do we have 3 officers coming over to take a report? Why does we have 3 officers? You see what I'm saying? Though?
What she's saying is she wants maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Caroline, but you want like some sort of task force or some sort of lower level that goes in and handles like the missing cat or the non-violent crimes, so it leaves the police officer open for the rougher crimes. But then again, if you want something like that, you cannot defund the police. You're gonna have to give them more money.
But you hire the others leave.
That's horseshit, because I'll tell you what, then you have to create an entirely different body of officers, which is going to take more budget money to go around and actually, do the barking dog calls and all that kind of stuff. Look, police officers have to do their job. They're not going to be, invested in the barking dog or the old lady's cat that's missing. We have to enforce crime laws. There are robberies. There are muggings. There are murders. We have better things to do. So, you know,
Better things to
but
do.
you
Let someone else do
you
the other
can't
stuff.
create an entirely different force that takes up most of the budget, you know,
You
just
don't
for
get it.
answering
You don't
bullshit
get it.
calls.
You don't get what I'm trying to say. You don't even
I don't
understand.
think you're really understanding it, Chief.
Yeah, but the thing is I've been a police officer and none of you have, so I kind of have an insight on what I'm talking about.
Okay, but what you're talking about is not what
You're really proving it too. You're really
you're,
proving
Kenny?
it.
you're not talking about. What? Hold on, Asian.
You're proving exactly what we think about
Just a
police
quick
officers.
question for Kenny. Who's more passionate, Chief or me?
Chief's pretty passionate.
Hey, real quick, I agree with CFW and that I think it's already being done, right? Maybe at a different scale, because you have police officers who are out on the beat, for lack of a better term, but then you have like divisions like CSI, SWAT, you know, the emergency services. Like in New York City, you have different divisions of police that are like subject matter experts, in a lack of a better term. So I think they do have some of that already, but it also depends on the size of the, you know, police precinct, right? I would think, or the county. So anyway,
The report writing is actually technology has actually improved report writing quite a lot. In the old days, before we had computers and templates and stuff like that, we could actually take reports.
The Middle Ages.
It could, yeah, Middle Ages. It would take anything between 3 and 4 hours of a police officer's shift just to write reports.
You guys do know how the police force started, right? In America?
Postal Service.
Sort of, but more
Yes.
to it than that. It started out as
the Watchmen.
It started out as slave patrols to catch fugitive slaves. That's how it started in America. It evolved from there.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also that we took a model off the UK, Sir Robert Peel, who created the Scotland Yard Police Department. We actually took that model and implemented it into the colonies that we started, and the police.
The modern police force.
Yeah, but they were modeling after the UK's plan, Sir Robert Peel.
And that
Is the model
evolved from
you're
the
using
slave
right now
patrols.
working?
That
Is
evolved.
the model that you're using right now working, or do we need to evolve it into something else?
Yeah, how much? Excuse me, Chief. CFW. You're paying property taxes right now, right?
Yeah.
How much higher would you want them to go to be able to hire these other people? And you'll excuse me a moment, but the level of counseling that these people must have has got to be somewhere probably above a bachelor's degree, because you don't necessarily come out of college with the proper education, perhaps, but not the proper experience. And there are a couple of years that need to be done in the job under a mentor and tutelage to be able to learn how to do things. Now, what you're talking about is giving these people somewhat police powers, because when you send someone out to take a report about a burglary, they must have investigative training as well as psychiatric training that you're talking about. The other side,
But the cops don't. Do the cops have that same training?
investigative, yes, it's part of their training.
Okay.
Ask the chief.
But there's a lot of times you can fill out a lot of times you can fill these reports out online, and I even have the police officer come to your house.
Do you expect these people to console the victim?
I don't know, but
Do
what
you
I'm saying
expect
is
these
that
people to know how to do CSI work?
what I'm saying is that this whole thing needs to be revamped, and people need to specialize in what they're good at, and maybe change the police force around a little bit. Like they have the specialized SWAT, they have the specialized this, they have specialized that. Maybe they should have specialized burglary then, because that was the example I gave. And
They do have specialized burglary units.
They do have units. They have
we waste a lot of
What she's talking about what she's
guys,
talking about
one
is
at a
taking.
time. One at a time, guys. One at a time. You guys are
Yeah,
all talking.
what she's talking about is taking the setup of a major metropolitan police department and putting it out there in Bullpunk, Alabama.
I guess maybe I am. Like, maybe I am. I don't know.
If you
But
think the property
I'm just saying
taxes are
that.
high now, wait till that starts coming.
No, but I don't. I'm saying just then we got to figure out a way that we can keep the police officers on the street without having to waste their time on a lot of little stuff that doesn't matter really. I mean, it matters to people. I'm not saying that way. And what I'm saying is, let them stay where they're what they're good at doing. Like, it needs to be revamped. It just does, because these officers are expected to do reports. They're expected to do so much stuff. Why can't we take some of the burden off of them with some office workers?
Well, I guess all that voice to text that we have out there now is useless, right?
Voice to text sometimes. You don't read it, it is.
Yeah, and also think about it. Think about it this way, Carolina. Let's say they did get some office workers to write some reports. That report is not going to be very accurate because the person that's writing the report wasn't there. So that could be an issue just from that alone.
Kenny, can I interject something?
Take the burden off the police officers and give them some other, ways to help them out and keep them on the street.
Yeah, would be nice. Chief, what you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say that even though a minor offense might seem like insignificant, do you know how many drunk drivers I got off the street because they had a minor traffic violation, either a tail light out, license plate light out, or whatever?
Right, and if
hold on.
Let him finish, CFW.
I have hauled in guys that were so drunk over those violations, and even though they might seem insignificant, when you're looking at a burglary, there's all kinds of evidence that you have to consider that might be insignificant that might prove your case. So it's not trivial. The cops aren't just going around with their thumb in their ass and just kind of figuring, oh, I want to bug this guy, I want to bug that guy. No, we build a case from 1 to all the way to 10, and we will gather evidence. We will gather evidence. We will get testimony. We will subpoena information. We are the watchdogs.
I was just trying to figure out with all the burdens that they have.
Yeah.
And you're just saying, and I'm saying they have their thumbs up their ass. That's not true. I was trying to find a way to alleviate all the extra stuff that they have to do. That's what I was trying to figure out. So it looks to me like you don't want to even change or evolve or listen to anything but what you want to hear.
Yeah, you're like saying that the police are just wasting everybody's time and they're not doing anything.
That's not what she's saying.
I should keep them on the street so they can be better at stopping crime.
Chief, yeah, she's not saying the cops are just sitting there. You're not listening to what she's saying. You're listening, but you're hearing one thing that's not what she's saying. She's saying she wants to get more help for the police in dealing with some of these lesser offenses. She's not saying the cops are wasting their time with stupid shit. That's not what she's saying. She wants to get the police some more help, is what she's saying. Do you understand that now?
Yeah, I understand that, but my point is, the police are not there to rub your tummy and pat your head. They're there to take you into custody if you've committed a crime. We're not counselors. We're not therapists. We are enforcers.
She wants to get you guys your help. She wants to get you your help so you don't have to be all that. That's her point.
Say something?
But like I said, you can't create a whole different body of people that take money off the city budget just to rub people's tummies and pat their heads.
Well, they can add money to the budget to do that, but I don't think anyone's going to do that. But she's just thinking perfect world type scenario type thing. Okay, Chief?
Yeah, I get it. I'm all right.
Well, you're getting worked up because she's not bad mouthing the police.
I'm pro cop. I don't care.
But what she's saying, cop too. You're taking it as if she's against the police. Nothing she has said was against the police. You're taking it as she's against the police when there's no need to take it that way. You're getting worked up for no reason. She wants to help the police in this scenario, and you're getting pissed off. That doesn't make any sense.
Then I apologize.
All right, Lavender, go ahead.
You're good.
Caught me in a mid bite.
Sorry.
You are so funny. Love your vid.
Okay. She wants to take the burden off of criminal patrol for burglaries and stuff like that. Down
No,
here,
not for burglaries, for like lesser stuff, like
yeah, minor
the cats in the tree.
burglaries and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Good.
Criminal patrol has to respond initially. They take a brief summary and then they kick it to the detectives. There are detectives that specialize. We have our burglary detectives, your dope detectives, and so on and so forth. And then they go out to this person's house and sit down with them in their shirt and tie and speak with them and then take more detailed reports.
That's horse shit.
What do you mean that's horse shit?
What?
What are you talking about, Chief?
I'm just saying, you want to create a bunch of, rubby.
This isn't CFW.
No.
It's like,
Yeah,
dude, the police do the
Never
job
mind.
that they need to do the job. You don't need like a whole separate body of people who are gonna be like,
Chief, calm down. You need to calm down for a second. I muted you for a minute because you're not listening to what Lavender's saying. Lavender is a former police.
Make sense.
She's a former cop. She's talking about cop procedure. Relax.
Yeah, I'm a former cop too. I was chief of police, and I did 18 years on the road, so I know what I'm talking about.
So
And I'm
telling
you what my department does.
I'm gonna jump off. This is the kind of cops that we don't like, just like you, man. So I'm gonna jump off at that note. On that note.
CFW, have a good one.
Good night, CFW.
All right, go ahead, Lavender.
I was just trying to explain how our department works, how she was saying that people, instead of criminal patrol, sitting there for an hour, taking a minor burglary or a minor car break-in, whatever, report, that's what we have detectives for. And they do specialize in certain types of crime. And they are the ones that aren't in full uniform. They're in a shirt and tie. So it's less intimidating, I guess. And they take the detailed report and investigate and, go deep into it. That's how our departments work here in Louisiana. Just to make that clear.
Well, it might be great for a larger metropolitan police department, but I live in the East Coast, obviously New Jersey, and I live in a suburban town, and I didn't have a non-uniformed officer show up when my car was broken into, and it happened twice. But the uniformed patrolman that came in, he took the report. He told me there's probably nothing we can do because they don't have detectives with the kit, whatnot, that it takes to do fingerprinting and do a full investigation. And it was a $125 window that I had to replace. So it's petty theft.
In England, we have this. Well, in England, there's they have attached to their police department what they call community service office, police community service officers. Now, these are sworn volunteers, and they do some of that some of that smaller investigative work. They are trained to do a number of police, general investigations and stuff like that. But they do go out and help with a lot of those minor or minor calls. That's something that could be looked at, is having a voluntary voluntary police community service that allow for people to go off and do those kind of things.
Yeah. So before she left, I was actually gonna. Well, she might still be in chat. So I want to change the subject a little bit. Now I want to do something go differently. I want to give maybe Carolina some constructive criticism. Not only with the constructive, one thing that you see that Carolina does well, and then give her some constructive criticism. I think it's important that we also, build up and not just give her constructive criticism. Let's talk about some of the things she does well as constructive criticism. We'll start at the end this time. We'll start with Diver. If Diver's there.
You're stuttering. I didn't quite get what you were trying to do.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So constructive criticism for Carolina and Fort Worth. And then also on top of that, one thing that you see that Carolina does well.
I'm not subscribed to her channel. I've seen very few of her videos, and those that I have seen are her behind the wheel, operating on the phone, and that speaks for itself.
Okay, what about one thing she does well? Well, I know it's going to be challenging for some people, but I think it's important to challenge ourselves and, say something nice about someone. I mean, we've been here talking, about what we thought she did wrong. Now I think it's only fair that we at least have one thing nice to say.
Well, the problem with her suggestion of a junior police force, if you will, or a sub report taking group, it sounded nice over in the UK where you got volunteers to do it. The problem is when you're talking about just taking a report that's going to sit in a file and nobody's ever going to touch it again, that'd be great. Unfortunately, that's not life. People want the service that their taxes are paying for. And unfortunately, that means someone who is qualified, trained, and experienced in order to do the job of not only taking a report, not only writing it up properly, but being able to go further than that after they've written a report and investigate it or hand it over to someone that's has a higher level of training, as in a detective. People just don't. They see what goes on TV and they think, oh, NCIS solves it all. No, it don't happen that way. It doesn't happen with what you see on TV. What happens in real life is a vast majority of crimes do not get solved because of lack of evidence, because of lack of personnel, because of lack of a lot of things in human life, unfortunately. And I've been on both. Well, let's say I've been on the two sides of, yeah, I've been a victim. And yeah, I've seen what police work does. Having lived with it for 19 years, hearing it over the dinner table every bloody night. Having worked for many, many police departments in their communications and being around them for hours on a day. And having experience of being pulled over now and again, because that's life. Everybody makes a mistake here and there. And I've been involved with accidents and whatnot. Having been a volunteer fireman and a first aider, yeah, I've seen that side of it too. The trick is nobody in this world is perfect. No police department is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get exactly what you want at every level of municipality across this world. From a hamlet to a major metropolis, you're not going to get perfect service. It just doesn't exist. And the systems that we have, yeah, there are problems with them. And I don't know if you saw what I wrote in the chat about a half hour ago, but I did some research. Congress has been dealing with this for more than 5 years, as far as police reform goes. There's bills that have come and gone out of at least 3 different Congresses and Congress's last 2 years, and everything that you've done for 2 years, if you haven't got it done by then, you got to start it all over again. I've got bills that have been in and out for 5 years that I've looked up.
Okay, so now one thing she does well. Now some constructive criticism. That's something nice.
She came up with an idea. Unfortunately, it's not exactly practical.
Okay, so she's trying to come up with something. Okay, that works. Chief, some constructive criticism, and then something she does well, or something nice. It's only fair.
I think she's very passionate about her point of view, and I admire her for that. I mean, I love debating people. You know, sometimes maybe I get a little over the top, but you know what? Hey, I admire her for that.
Any constructive criticism?
Maybe just kind of, I would say, you know, take a ride along with the police department and kind of get an idea of what they do. It might be very interesting, and I think that would be, you know, something that would help her.
Okay. War Eagle Kid?
I think she needs to approach being nicer to people and see how that works compared to yelling and hollering at them. And I do give her credit for coming over here and taking the criticism from everybody.
There we go. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. Gary?
Well, she gets too wordy. She rambles on, and a lot of times it says, you know, it's got to use 1,000 words to say what you can say in 12. That is, and really, yeah, tone it down some. You know, be nicer to the people around you, to the people that you're trying to interview, or just make it an interview instead of a massive bash of accusations.
Okay, and so now something she does well, or something nice, or
I tell you the truth, what I've seen, nothing.
well, challenge yourself and trying to come up with something here. That's the point. I want everyone that comes up here to. I think it's important to challenge yourself.
I'll agree with whoever said she is passionate about what she does.
That works.
I have to commend her on that.
Thank you, sir. Morgie.
Well, Carolina and I are okay, but I think her biggest problem is she doesn't do her homework. I think she'd be a lot more effective if she's really as passionate as she is. She'd be a lot more effective if she actually hooked up with prison advocates and things like that. If she really wants to make change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know MJ, but anyway.
No, I'm sorry. No, I'm laughing at the comment that Morgie put in the private chat.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's good. I like that. But yeah, so the problem is that she goes in half-cocked. She makes assumptions. She doesn't know what it is. What I do give her is that at least she comes on to hear about what we think she's done wrong, and she takes it. And she does take some of it away, so I will give her that. At least she's got more balls than half the auditing community that won't come on and debate and discuss because they can't. At least she does come on and debate and discuss and attempt to justify her stance. We may not agree with it, but at least she will sit there and listen to us.
Absolutely, I give her credit for that as well. Asian, your turn, sir.
Thanks, Kenny. Yeah, let me just prelude this with I don't know CFW as a 1A auditor. I haven't followed her to date. I just know what I've heard about her on the various types of panels. So I guess with that said, you know, it just goes back to what I mentioned earlier, which is about bridging gaps. And if your actions don't align or support bridging gaps while you're auditing, then you know, my suggestion is not to do it at all. So just purpose and intent, you know, the 2 videos we saw today of her audits, the question that just kept coming back is, you know, why are we doing this? Where's the value? Where's bridging the gap? And then criticism, I'll just say, yeah, just align to what Eagle and what he said, and I use one word to describe it: courage.
All right, now something positive.
Courage. She has courage, because to come up on a panel and take some criticism and go out there and audit requires courage. So that's my compliment to her. That she's very courageous. Wrong or right, she's courageous about what she's trying to do.
Thank you, sir. Josiah.
What can I say? Oh, Carolina, I watch her videos. She puts out a lot of rumor without fact. That's my biggest criticism. My compliment for Carolina is she's much more intelligent than she leads us on to believe. She knows what she's doing. And, that's all.
Okay. Lavender.
Okay, it's no secret I don't like auditors, but
No, you don't say.
Yeah, that's a news flash.
Right? Okay, but I would like her to take down. Don't go into everything with all these preconceived notions in her head and accuse people of things that aren't true. What I think she should do is she seems to be very passionate about the indigent inmates getting proper representation and everything. I think she should move in that direction and make connections with those people. You know, I think she seems to go that way in a lot of her videos, about housing of the inmates and stuff like this. I really think that that's a direction she should go rather than just going in and berating and accusing, and it just doesn't go anywhere. And like I said before, nobody remembers the remarks that she's making. They just remember the crazy lady.
All right, so my constructive criticism would be calm down when you're going and doing your audits. Talk a little slower to get your point across, and just do more research into it before you go in there. I mean, but at the same time, this goes to a compliment about your passion, because the first audit we saw, it seemed like you were just kind of doing something, and you saw some lady and you asked her a question, and she said, "Oh, she just got out. She's been in the mud." And you immediately like, "Well, hold on, that doesn't sound right at all." And you went in there and you wanted to get some information on it. And I think that's awesome. If you look at Caroline's channel, she talks a lot about the prison system and all that, but she doesn't just stop at the prison system. She talks about all kinds of stuff that is going on that needs to change. So she doesn't do the audits and the cop watching. She really has a passion to help people. And I think that goes to her being a teacher. And so I think that not only the passion, but the courage to go out there and do it. And the courage to come on these type of shows where she knew she was coming in there, she was gonna catch some flack. There weren't gonna be people that were completely agreeing with her on every subject. But as you can see, we can all learn something from this. We can give you some constructive criticism, and we learn a little bit more about you and see you perhaps in a different light, or maybe some of us can. And just, I think, keep doing what you're doing, but just calm down. Just don't throw the insults. The insults don't get you anywhere. Instead of the insults, throw the lawsuits. Throw the stuff that's going to get some change done. Do it that way. That's about all I have to say about that. But other than that, I think you definitely have improved a lot since the first video I've ever seen of you. I think the first video I saw of you was the computer video, and I was like, holy crap, what is this? So yeah, so you definitely have gotten better, and I hope to see you continue to improve, and perhaps just keep doing what you're doing. So yeah. So I hope you're able to take some of this and run with it. And if you don't, that's fine too. Just I definitely want to thank you for coming on. The videos are cool. It was interesting, and I really hope more auditors can see this, and more auditors will decide to come on and and I think I like this. I like the end of it where we everyone gives some constructive criticism and says something nice. I know if Furry ever comes on, it's going to be harder for anyone to find anything nice to say about Furry, but I would challenge them too. I already know probably no one's probably gonna have anything nice to say, but I'm just saying I would challenge them to do it. I think it's only fair. You talk bad about someone, but then try and lift them up to make them want to do better. That's just
Do
what I
you
think.
really have an appointment with that one?
No, hell no. I don't think Furry's ever gonna come on.
I don't think he's going to come up either.
I don't either. But I'm just saying if hell were to freeze over, and sitting there with my blanket and my cap, and I'm just like, hello, Furry.
Furry's just got a fat lip, I believe.
Oh wow. Uh-oh. Well, I know Furry's been going around with this.
Before we sign off, I just want to say, hey, God bless the United States and back the blue.
So Furry's been going around with this camera. I think she has a camera now that looks like it's a bomb strapped to her freaking chest. And it's just like, are you freaking stupid? If she pairs that with stupid fucking fake language, I only see bad things in Furry's future.
Yeah, she goes to a Jewish center yelling and screaming and her faux Arabic. She's looking to get herself shot.
Is the Palestinian flag still attached to her jacket?
I have no idea.
I want to know, Kenny, I sent you that email about a video I was watching where he had told a kid that was out video and just doing his normal YouTube, hey, this is what's up video, and ran into these guys, told him that she was a Navy SEAL.
Oh yeah, you told me. I'm not sure. I don't think Furry was a Navy
At
SEAL.
least 2+ years ago, she was. The potato was stating that at one time they were a Army Ranger. So it's just escalating. The stolen
That's what I
valor is
always
just
heard.
escalating. Along with, I believe she was at another synagogue today.
Yeah, that's where she got the fat lip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that confirmed, or was that just
yeah,
her dropping the phone and whining?
No, in Discord. There's actually somebody took a photograph of the actual call on the police computer, and it's actually got suspect has a fat lip. It was seen bleeding from the lip. So there you go. The other thing is the closest Furry has ever come to being a Navy SEAL was being rolled back off a beach near a Navy depot, I think.
Yeah, hello. Well, I know the Marines have a training base right there on the coast.
That's where the SEALs train in California.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, they probably rolled her back into the ocean when she showed up there to try and audit. But that's probably the closest she's ever come to being a SEAL.
They have sentries that she wouldn't have gotten down the beach, believe me. Especially if something was going on.
It was a joke, NJ.
I know.
Adam, relax. Lay off Carl. Carl's good people. Just relax, man. Just try and enjoy the chat. Okay, Kaka.
My Chong's got that handled.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, no, I
he
know
was
May doesn't just turn people out for no reason. So.
he was making some homophobic.
Well, yeah, that's no bueno. None of that.
Yeah, so I think that's why him and his sock accounts are being slammed.
Well, he's borderline most of the time. Usually, he's pretty good about stuff. But he, just like everyone else on the panel, he comes and he has his opinions, and there's nothing wrong with voicing his opinions as long as it's doesn't get too bad. And Tim, let's not egg anything on here, guy.
Yeah, I think that's up on panel and voicing your opinions versus being a keyboard warrior.
Adam, you're more than welcome to come on up and talk about something. Well, no, Adam, you were going with some homophobic remarks, and we don't do that type of thing here, like at all. We don't do the racism. We do the homophobic remarks. Hell, we don't even do the what's the anti-Semitism either. That's what I was looking for. Almost couldn't remember. I was just watching a movie too, and they said it, and I'm like, wait, why can't I remember this? I just saw Jack and Jill again. Love that movie, by the way.
Oh, me too.
Al Pacino. Al Pacino. Movie is so great. If anyone hasn't seen it, check it out. It's freaking hilarious.
You must be a movie buff, Kenny.
Movie buff, man. I love movies, TV shows, movies. Definitely. Oh, you should know. I did it. Well, you weren't here, I don't think, but we did a whole on movies one time.
Oh wow,
it was glorious.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Kenny,
I'm looking.
Did you decide on moderators you're going to pick or whatever you were talking about that last time?
I've won. Oh, supermod. I don't know how to do supermods.
No,
I tried looking
super
that
monitor.
up. I couldn't find it.
Oh, you mean for a Facebook? Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, I started a Facebook group. Please go ahead and join it.
I don't have Facebook.
Well, then you're going to have to make one like
here.
Gary's going to have to. That's why you're going to have to make one like Gary's going to have to make. You got to come on the Facebook group. How about that?
Kenny, I don't have Facebook either.
See?
Well, damn it. It looks like you were going to have to do that too.
I use my wife's. I go through my wife's Facebook. Because it's like married with kids now, so just use hers.
There you go. We'll make her join it. You can make her join it. Like, don't worry, honey. You're just joining this group. Don't worry about it.
But all kidding aside, I love the channel, Kenny. You're doing such a great job. Just wanted to throw you another bone, man. I really enjoy your channel. I love coming up here and participating. So for that, thank you.
Yeah, man. Love having you. Your opinions are always most welcome, and you always come through with some good knowledge. You and NJ, you guys are both awesome. Especially when I got deal. Also, when I deal with people like Gary and Lavender. God.
Thank you.
I thought I was pretty nice tonight.
You were.
I thought you were excellent.
You were great.
I had to try.
I think you've been great every night. No, there hasn't been a misbehaved night from Lavender.
No, not for Lavender. She's not Tim.
She's always.
Well, sometimes I tend to get heated, so I have to try to calm myself down so that what I'm trying to say is conveyed better.
Right.
And Kenny, just as a reminder, maybe sometime down the road, would love to come up on panel if you ever choose to talk about some of the donut operator videos.
Yeah, we can do that. Definitely.
Love.
Well, I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out.
Yeah, donut is just his videos are just amazing. Wow.
Furry's been taken to the hospital for a split lip.
Hospital for a split? How split is it?
Not that bad.
She's doing it so she can sue.
Yeah. Was it the snaggle tooth that got the lip?
I'm sure.
That's horrible.
What am I missing?
Apparently, Furry got something happened to Furry, and Furry has a fat lip now, and Furry's going to the hospital apparently.
Furry was harassing a Jewish synagogue, and got basically what she deserved.
Oh, there you go.
She should stay away from Jewish synagogues. She's open to.
And she was dressed. And she was dressed in a black ninja outfit. So.
And that would
The
be my
usual.
one
It's like
positive.
Omaha dressing up militia. Sorry, love.
No, it's okay. What I
All
was
right.
going to say was when Furry comes on panel, my one positive will be that she can match clothing.
Jesus.
I'm
I guess it's
trying.
positive.
I don't have anything positive to say about Furry. My tits are bigger than hers.
Yeah, hey Kenny, just remember, what is that called? Oh yeah, the Tater Tot Army.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what it's doing right now over at Brian's.
Didn't they disappear from Brian's channel already? After all the drama stopped unfolding, they left, didn't they? I thought they did.
No, they're still trolling.
Oh, okay. Let them. All right, guys. So I'm gonna give everyone a last minute thoughts to Lavender. Anything last minute before we go?
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me up. I appreciate everybody's opinions on
Got a
panel
gun to
and
me.
in chat. What?
You had a gun to me. I didn't have a choice of letting you up. Oh, I was about to say that, wasn't I?
No. And it wasn't loaded.
Oh, damn it.
I thought she was just happy to see you.
What's up, Taco?
Hey, Asian.
Didn't see you up
Thank
here.
everybody for everything. Chat. Love y'all.
Make sure you guys subscribe to Love and Message if you haven't already. Here is the link in the chat. Oh, Mrs. J, before we go,
yes.
What I want you to do is I want you to type in the chat !goats and see what comes up.
Okay. I can't.
All right, while she's
All right, I'll drop down and do it, and I'll come back.
Josiah, anything last minute?
Just another great panel. Good topic. Great discussion from everyone always on the panel. That's what I enjoy about your live streams the most, or the people who participate in the panel, because we can have differing opinions and we walk away and no one's upset and no one's been hurt by anything that anyone has said.
Okay, Asian?
Yeah, well said. Ditto Lavender and ditto Josiah.
Morgie?
I just want to say thanks for having me. I'm sorry if I prattled on a little bit too much today, but it was interesting. It was fun.
Yeah. Gary?
I'm just glad you got this going, man. I really enjoy it.
Okay, cool. War Eagle Kid?
Thank y'all for having me, and you've done a very good job tonight.
Yep. Diver?
Yeah, reality bites. Sometimes it's bracelets, sometimes it's deadly force.
Okay. Paco?
I have nothing good, but I'm going to stay on to talk to you afterwards, Kenny.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. We will see you again with another video, hopefully tomorrow. I'm not sure. Mrs. J, I'm getting ready to leave, so I'm not going to let you out because I'm getting ready to leave. Well, I'll let you out. Did you have anything last minute to say?
No, I sort of wanted to talk to you after too.
Thank you, Fiona, for joining me. Carl, thank you. Adam, thank you. Power Wagon, thank you. May, Sean, Jarhead, Power Wagon. I think I said him already. And anyone else who's Hornet and to all the hustlers out there, thank you. And I will see you again with another video, guys. Peace.
Thanks for having us.
Lavender.